Hi, sun. Hello, you. Bright and early, as always, sun. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. Look at all your familiar faces. I love it. Taishi, Mazzy, 369, Costa as well. Costas, Omo. I love it. I love Grand Rising to you, 369 as well. I love it. Seeing all you beautiful faces. Pretty eyes as well. Good to see you. Pretty eyes. I'm always clicking your profile like, come up for a conversation. I click everybody like, come up. Yes, good morning to you too, my dear Omo. Good morning to you too. So guys, as you know now, or you should know now, that Saturday is a Black people only conversation. For those of you who are the women here, let me tell you this, Wednesday is a women's only conversation. So women, we're also going to be having our chats too, because it is highly important. Yeah, women's chats on Wednesday. So Women's Wednesday, Black only Saturdays. And also on my Thursdays is where I do a uncensored live as well. And I didn't do one this week. So next week will also be an uncensored live. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Balji, do I only talk about race? Asks. No, I talk about many different things. Many different things. This is one platform that I have. I have several different platforms. Yeah, this one. If you want to actually come and talk to me about being a dominatrix, that's fine. If you also want to talk to me about music as well, that's also fine, because I'm also a musician. If you want to talk to me about entrepreneurship, because I'm also an entrepreneur too. If you want to talk to me about fitness as well, you can also talk to me about that too. Like anything you can talk to me about. I can talk about many different things. So that answers your question. Miss T, blessings to you too as well, my dear. Always a joy to see everybody here who is familiar. Jangir as well. Hello. Jangir, I want to see more comments from you in the comment section, Jangir. All you do is like say hello and then you're like God or something. Always a joy to see everybody here who is familiar. Jangir as well. Hello. Who is familiar. Jangir as well. Hello. Jangir, I want to see more comments from you in the comment section, Jangir. All you do is like say hello and then you're like God or something, or then you're quiet. Jangir, you have been around here for a long time. I want to see more interaction from you, Jangir. You know me, I'm Fox. Yes, I call all you out. Yes, Jangir. Come on, this is family here. This is conversation. Let's all talk. Let's all talk. Balji says, we love your dreadlocks. Who's got dreadlocks? And they're called locks as well, but I don't have locks. What? Balji, I don't think is okay in the head, guys. This is what happens sometimes. I know it's early. Maybe you haven't woken up your brain yet. Yeah. Thank you, Miss T. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So this is the Black conversation today, guys. We talk about lots of different things in this space. Lots of different things. So we talk about neurodivergence, health, news, history, travel, politics, the future, etc. I'm going to start off talking about travel today, guys. This is someone, myself. Some of you guys know I'm a big traveler, a huge traveler. I'm actually losing count now. I think it's 56 countries I've been to. It may be 57, because I actually did a video not that long ago about all the countries, and I missed a country. I missed the fact that I've been to Romania. I've been to Bucharest. I've been to lots of parts of the world. Lots of parts, and there's still much more for me to see. So let me tell you my experiences as traveling as a Black woman, and I would really love to have a traveling conversation today, guys. I'd really love it. I tried to do it last time. The conversation went somewhere else, but let me start by saying this. Black people, you need to travel more. Please. If you grew up in Britain and you got that British passport privilege, you need to travel more. Stop believing all of this stupid propaganda out there saying, oh, well, the world hates us. They don't. They don't. You're talking to someone who's seen it. 54 countries, the obsession and the addiction the world has with Black people, that's the study. Everywhere I go, people are like, please be my friend. Can I take a photo with you? Come and meet my family. Can I take you to dinner? Let me take you on this trip. Let me give you this money. Come and have some lunch with me. Can I buy you a drink? All of the time it happens. Hanex, this bitch here, by the way, people, is a submissive gentleman who can say exactly the same thing. Hanex, why don't you tell the world how much everybody loves Black women, Hanex? Because like I say, too many black women and too many black men are under this belief that we are disliked when it is the absolute opposite. If my dad was here right now, actually, even my dad, as a 70, how old is my dad now? I can't remember. My dad is 70 something years old. And even he now is starting to realize, like, oh my God, people really have a very good impression of black men. And honestly, I drove through Europe, right, last year, through several different countries last year. I drove through Europe, and my mum and dad was with me. We ended up getting to certain countries where they were obsessed with my dad, truly. Hugging my dad, thank you so much, brother. Like, we drove through Serbia, for example. Serbia, they're like, my black brother, black brother. You know, lots, when you go to that part of the world, more Eastern Europe, like keep going down, Turkey as well, they love black people. They love black people, black women, black. I came out of a toilet once. This old Turkish lady was filming my mother, who again is in her 70s. Oh my God, so beautiful, beautiful. I always tell the story about when I went to Ukraine, right? I was in Ukraine in, when was it? 2018, whenever it was. I was in the Ukraine, right? I was in the Ukraine. I was walking up in the mountains. This old white lady comes from nowhere, grabs my face, beautiful, beautiful, starts touching on my skin. She's even nuzzling her head into my shoulders, saying, please take photo, please take photo. She's like, ooh. It was like the best day of her life because she saw a black woman. I was in Kyiv. She said, amazing. I was laughing. I said, okay, I'll take a photo for you. The people around me, there was 2 English guys, said, this is the Ukrainians. This is welcome to Ukraine. This is what Ukrainians do. Which was so disappointing, of course, because when we saw the war escalating, that was when the racism jumped out, right, from those authorities kicking black and brown people off the train. I was like, that was completely opposite my experience. Even where I stayed, the host of my Airbnb was brilliant. She spent extra time teaching me Ukrainian. She kept giving me hugs. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here. I said, wow. Even in the taxis, when I was going around, again, let me teach you my language. Thank you so much, lovely lady. You're so nice. La, 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 la. This is the thing with racism. A lot of racism is the ignorance, and it is the lack of actually understanding other people and other cultures. When you are white and you have been given this impression of people of the global majority, that will make you think certain things about us. That's racism. So you have to come out of that. Hanek says, Amaya, you're ready for years, just the lovely person you are. Yeah, I know, but I want you to talk about black women, or is it I know you love me so much, Hanex. I'm very aware of this. I'm very aware that you love me, but I want you to talk about your experiences of getting to know me as a black woman as well, as to why we're so amazing and so incredible. You know, this is important for the conversation. So I'm inviting my black brothers and sisters up onto the panel. Please come and talk to your other black sister up here on the panel. By the way, I am making assumptions because some of you don't have profile pictures. So I'm clicking you, assuming that you are black. I know you are, 369. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you, my dear. I can hear you perfectly, thank you, my dear. For the people, can you just tell them the ethnic background of your biological parents, if you know them, please?
Both parents are Jamaican born, so am I. I came to the UK when I was tiny tot.
Lovely. Thank you so much, 369. So yes, I've been just chatting about travel at the moment. Of course, here, as you know, the subjects are always very varied. So what is it that you want to speak about today? Have you got anything on your mind that you would like to discuss?
I was hoping that today we was going to discuss about us coming together as a black community, what we can do to solve some of this argument, especially online, regarding African, Caribbean. I'm tired of it.
Same girl, same.
Yeah.
So tired.
Yeah.
I'm not into this like diaspora wars
No.
because it's hilarious that it's come up with it, right? Because white people never get on with anyone. So like, and it's annoying for me to even say white people because we're obviously at the very opposite ends of spectrums, right? Of course, you've got all different races of people, ethnicities in the middle, but
Definitely.
it does sound like it is, of course, a white construct to keep us divided, right? Everything that has kept us divided has pretty much come from the white man, is literally to keep us separate. And like you, I don't believe in the division of black people from wherever we are in the world. I don't believe in it. So yeah, the unity part. It is how we, and I think a big part of it is decolonizing, right? Because when we are arguing, it is what the colonialists want. So if black and brown people want to actually find unity, they do need to check their history. A lot of it, I think, is definitely the fact because black people don't know where they come from. And that's been able to be manipulated quite a lot, especially with this FBA conversation, you know, and then you're saying, oh, well, Africans are this and Caribbeans are this and black Americans are this and black Brits are this. It's like, yeah, but we're all still family. It doesn't matter where you think that you came from, because I'm not here to try and tell people where they come from, because I know it's up for them. You know, we know, but it's up to them to just figure that out in the journey. So in that time, you should be able to find some kind of unity in that. And what unites us is our skin. It is our skin on a very basic level. Yeah, culture too, but what I mean is on a very basic level. So if you see someone that looks like you, then you should be in your mind, oh, do you know what? Let's now try and see where we've got something in common, because when you see people, right, you see them for what they look like. This is on a very basic level of thinking. Oh, you look like me. What similarities do you have? And then we can talk about our cultures. Then we can talk about our music. Then we can talk about our traditions. Then we can talk about our food. You know, we can talk about all those kind of things, the things that do unite us. So do you do anything in particular in Jamaican culture at all that makes you think?
I try and embrace it. I'll tell you what happened. When I came over here, I was 10, and they sent me to a predominantly Caucasian school up in Elton. So I lost myself for a little while because everyone wanted me to speak proper English, basically, you know?
Yeah.
And after a period of time, I think I was about 14, something just clicked in my head. And I reverted speaking raw Jamaican, and my family was looking at me like, what's happened? But being in that school, it taught me that despite where we come from, people on the opposite spectrum, as you know, white people, they will always look at us as the outcast. You're one of them.
Yeah.
Immediately they will say, oh, where are you from? What part of Africa you come from? And I'll say to them, I'm not from Africa. Oh, the shock. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I was little, my cousin on the estate where we were growing up, we had some Nigerian family down below. We had black people and white people all mixed in, you know, estate. And I remember my cousin saying to me, don't play with them Africans. And I'm thinking, why? You know, I used to go to school with them, and me and the little boy was really close because he was the sweetest. He was quiet, but at the same time he had that hardness, but you never quite see it until someone pushed him, basically. And I remember sneaking down there on a daily basis, getting to know their culture and what they eat and stuff like that. But whenever our parents was around, we pretend that we didn't know each other. You understand? Yeah. So I've got to learn about. I know, but I look at it and I think to myself, that was her experience. That doesn't necessarily have to be mine. And growing up and leaving
But that's
home,
where the anti-blackness comes from. It was from our other generations. Like, people talk about this a lot. Actually, when I say people talk about this a lot, white people have asked me randomly when I've been out and about, oh, how come Africans don't like Caribbeans? I'm like, where did this conversation come from? We weren't even talking about that stuff. Like, a white man asking me this, like, what? And I'll tell them again, it came from you. It came from you. You might not want to hear the answer, but it literally came from you. You are the people that divided us. You started it. We were one, And you are the ones who actually created this whole diaspora conversation and split us up
William
and then
Lynch
turned us
letter.
against ourselves. Say it again.
William Lynch letter. That's the key. William Lynch is an Englishman that literally wrote the letter to the Caribbean slave masters how to keep a nigger, divide and
Please don't use that word. Don't use that word, please.
Sorry,
Please don't use that word here. Yeah.
Hit the dark skin against the light skin, and the light skin against the dark skin.
The man against the female.
All of that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and this is because when the white man specifically started traveling the globe, they obviously realized that colorism did exist in a way, but it was more prevalent in Asia. Of course, we know it was prevalent in India. So they picked up what they learned there in their 200 years, because like we say, and what we talk about here a lot, is how much they studied us. They studied us very, very, very well, and then started to kind of push in these other ideologies, of course, by saying that they are the whitest of the white. Yeah, it is very, very, very frustrating that we've had a lot of these things happen to us. But again, it's good now that in 2026 that we literally have these conversations to understand where we're at and what we're supposed to be doing. Mimi, good to see you. She says in the comment section, people forget that enslavement didn't just happen, studied prior, existed, insisting upon bodies. Exactly. That's how the whole thing worked. And that's why we have to do a lot of undoing. We have to make sure that we know. And even when it comes to the FBA conversation, like I find myself frustrated. I find myself frustrated in the FBA conversation, because what I'm seeing, and I don't know if FBA people are seeing it, is that there is an attitude that is coming through, which is very much of the colonizer. When I hear this, they literally sound like the colonizer FBA cult. Yeah, exactly, Mimi. Hi, Hannah. Good to see you today. That's what I hear when I hear, and again, it is a lot of anti-Africanness, a lot of anti-blackness towards Black Brits. Saying that, Black Brits, you don't know where you come from. It's like, well, do you know where you actually come from? You do know that you came from Africa. They do know, but now they're trying to say, well, we are of the land. It's like, but the thing is, even though we call ourselves Black Brits, we know we're Black Brits. We also do know where we come from, and we still have our traditions and our cultures and our parents' or grandparents' languages. We still have those things. Unfortunately for them, because they were so far removed from the continent, thousands of miles away, a lot of them haven't been able to continue or even to remember where they come from. And so now they're trying to say that they're foundational Black Americans. While most of them, I think, still have not done their DNA.
Research.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the DNA test will literally tell you whether you are indigenous to the islands, if you're Arawak. For example, my mum's from the Caribbean. She thought that, and I'm like, well, my DNA test doesn't show that, mother. It doesn't show that we're from there. It shows that I'm mostly Nigerian. It shows that I'm also part Senegalese, and I have, guess what, Northern European ethnicity, like about 5% Northern European, and that's how you got to the Caribbean, mother. That's how you got over there. So a lot of these people, any person who's Black, your life would be a lot easier if you don't know where you come from. Then just really do a lot more research and reading. So who are you talking about? SPTV? I don't know what the hell you're talking about like there. So of course the FBA people are upset in the comment section. Please come up. This is a Black people only panel. African Caribbean diaspora. This is for everybody.
Sorry to cut you, sister,
Nate?
but this is what I don't get. Like he says, leave us Blacks alone, so we're not Black.
Yeah.
So I'm a white man. I'm a white man. Yeah. And this is what I don't get about these FBAs. They want to differentiate themselves from everybody, yeah? It's common sense. When you look at the global map, Asians are from Asia, white people are from Europe, and Black people are from Africa. This is where we do have to unpack a little bit, right? Because that is a racial construct that white people put upon us. Dark-skinned people actually were everywhere. If you look at the Melanesians, right, they are dark-skinned people. Even people in India who are darker than me are still Indian, right? So this is where we kind of have to recognize where some of the races are. This is why the FBA conversation is a little bit different, because if America's, then yes, fair enough. But I don't think a lot of them realise that they don't. That's my problem. Right, like I said, I checked my mother's. She thought, oh, maybe I'm Arawak. No, mother, not. You're not. So,
but this is how I always catch them out. This is how I catch them out. I always ask them, okay, if you're indigenous and you're from that land, what are your customs? They want to tell me about a French festival called Mardi Gras. Yeah. Then they want to say, oh, my hair. Yeah. Now I'm a Jamaican. Yeah. We have links to Congo, and we also have links to Ghana. We have something called Kumina.
And Nigerians, don't forget the Nigerians.
We have something called Kumina, yeah, and Kumina is basically derived from the Congo, yeah. When slavery was abolished and the Jamaicans did not want to work for the white man for pittance, they then brought in indentured servants, better yet, from the Congo, yeah, and that's how Kumina became part of Jamaican heritage or tradition. Yeah. And we've got the Maroons, yeah, who was basically runaway slaves, and also some were actually free Africans that was there before slavery. Yeah. But some of them or better yet, the majority of them were slaves that basically overturned the Spanish rule and the British rule. Yeah, we have traced our language Kramanti to a place called I think it's Kramant in Ghana. Yeah, we have a language called Kramanti. We also have like a thing called Diabeng, which is a cow horn, and you blow it, and it's basically used for communication. Yeah, jerk chicken is basically made because the Maroons basically wanted to cook food, but we didn't want the smoke to give away our position, so we dug pits and we basically put the chicken or whatever food that was in the pit and then that's how you got the flavor, because the smoke was concealed and the smoke was kept within the pit. Yeah, so we always ask them, what are your customs? Yeah, they can't even speak the language. So
but that's the thing, though. I don't. Yeah, I know, but I don't. What I don't like, because I'm all about unity, is that I'm very much about what unites us rather than divides us. Like when I was bringing up, yes, Mimi, I'm just going to allow you to come up. Of course, I am, of always, my dear. What I don't really like to do is, again, play into the diaspora wars. When I'm talking about the FBA, it is basically, like I've said, it's just the mindset that is not really about connecting black people. That's where I'm at. Right, I'm not going to go down to the fact of black traditions and blah, 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 because I can see black American culture. I can see the music, I can see the food, I can see the influence, I can see all those things. I can see them, Nate, I can see them. But like I said, I'm all about what we also as black Brits have been able to take from black Americans, because we do take a lot of the culture, we take a lot of the influence too.
No,
but I also recognise where and Nate, can I finish? Nate, please?
Sorry.
I also know and recognise where that influence has come from originally, because if you guys have the same algorithm as me, or if you don't, is that we can see our dancing traditions come from Africa. We can definitely see that too, right? So it's, again, how do we unite? I'm not about division. Thank you as well, Mimi. Same ship, different stops. So I'm just going to go through everybody at the moment, and then I am going to allow everybody to unmute, but we have to be respectful here. So Water Goddess, just first thing, and then I'm going to Johnson, Alvin, Mimi.
I'm so sorry, because I'm in the car wash. I just wanted to, whilst it's quickly quiet, I'm so sorry, Water Goddess. I just want to say, we need to understand that this is the modern day COINTELPRO, and it's rooted in anti-blackness, and it is designed deliberately to fracture. The FBA movement meets all of the characteristics for a cult. If whilst you're on this panel, look up what a cult, the charismatic leader, the authoritarianism, it all feeds in, and it's all designed to create faction and division. If you truly believe that you are indigenous to the Caribbean, you should not be in spaces or discussing spaces that are dealing with Afro-Caribbean history or issues. It's that simple. The indigenous people of America have made it very clear that they don't want people claiming indigeneity, because it lessens their history. And it also said, for us as well, those of us that are really into the reparations movement, these black Americans that are doing this are doing them. This is deliberately by design. In the UK, our claim to reparations is extremely strong. It is not a matter of if, it is when we're going to get our reparations. The records for us, particularly in the English-speaking Caribbean, are far too extensive. There are slave narratives and they're enslaved narratives, and they're also that of the enslavers. You cannot deny our history. We've also got records of where people came from as they were removed from people, as they were moved also not just from Africa but also back into the Caribbean, onto the Carolinas, and back and forth. So even the American claim for indigeneity under the FBA doesn't make sense, because many of the Caribbeans in Jamaica and Barbados would be able to claim it as well, because they were moved back and forth by their enslavers. This is about anti-blackness, people being ashamed of their enslavement, and rather than actually going to read the books by black historians that are written and well extensively documented, they're falling into this narrative because they feel inferior. It is sad. I'm going to drop back down because
it's very sad.
Thank you. I'm still going to be in the comments.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to get at as well, but in a different way. Like, Mimi's very direct in that, and I'm glad that she is. But like I say, I tried to come from a unity aspect. I have muted that person because clearly they were just on their own narrative. There's only certain amounts of things that you can obviously say to somebody or say to people. No, it's okay, Mimi. No problem. There's only certain things and certain narratives that you can have. And if people don't want to hear and they don't want to listen, that's literally up to them. But like I said, I've muted that person because I don't want that to be the focus of the conversation as well. But it was something to address. So Water Goddess, can we just get the ethnic background again of your parents, please? And then I'll ask the same to Jar Son.
Good morning. My ethnic background is Ngombe on my mother's side and Luba on my dad's side.
Lovely, thank you. Nate, I think I didn't ask you again. Did I ask you, Nate? I've forgotten. Nate, the ethnic background of your biological parents, please?
My biological parents, they're born in Britain, but my grandparents are Jamaican.
Thank you very much. Jar Son, can I have the ethnicity of your biological parents, please? Jar Son, let me ask you to unmute. Yep. Hello?
Hello, greetings.
Hello there.
Greetings.
Hi.
I'm an
Hi,
African American. Both of my parents is African American.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got Alvin Patrick now, please. Alvin, can I get the ethnicity of your biological parents, please?
My dad is Nigerian, my grandma is South African, so I don't know. I'm both.
Okay, thank you. As long as people are willing to identify as black here and they think that they're black, then this conversation is for you. So we obviously just have to, check where we're at. So, this is a very, very varied conversation, I started off talking about travel. We've talked a little bit just then about the FBA, a little bit how it does seem to be a little bit problematic for the unity of black people. Is there anything that anyone has on their mind? Please do unmute. Everybody can unmute and just say what you want to say, but make sure that we're respectful and not talking over each other, please, because I don't like that. Who wants to add
greetings.
something?
Greetings. I was sitting listening about the FBA thing. Let me tell y'all something. Just like the young lady said, what is going on is an FBI, but it's worldwide. It's not just in America. It's a world play. If you can see what's happening with the FIFA and the refs.
Yeah.
If you remember what they did in France at the Olympics, you can see a pattern. And the reason being is because the things that this society and everything that we've been living under, that time is up. The mindset of the whole world is ascending. And so what we see is over here in America, number one, the African American in America spends $2 trillion every year in America. During COVID, it was 1.8. So African Americans really is the liquidity of the market in America. What happens if the African American rises and say, hey, we're going to unify, we're going to build, we're going to restrict our dollars, the economy falls. So it was an old saying. They said, I think it was Kissinger, and he said that by any means necessary, the greatest problem or fall of America is if the African American unites with the African on the continent. Yeah. Why? Because the African American built everything in America. Everything. They make movies, they showed you. They would have never caught up with Sputnik if it wasn't for black women. Okay, as far as the IBM computer and learning to operate that, black people in America do everything. But where is our problem? We do not have the natural resources, So all of our resources here, we got to go through a bank if we want to do something. So if you become against the system, what happens to that? They take that back. So if we ever was to unify with the continent, now we have resource. We have know-how. Same thing with the British black and the Jamaicans, I know how that go. So if we unite all over the world, if they don't had a system for 400 years and said, oh, the black people, does not matter. You come from Britain, Jamaica, wherever you come from. If your skin is dark melanated, you're treated differently, period, everywhere you go. So why don't we accept that banner, accept it? Okay, this is who we are.
In my mind, because you're right in everything that you said, but what I'm going to pick up is this if phrase. If we unite, it's not if. Some of us are already trying to do it, right? We need to change how we're seeing it. Yeah, we need to change how we're seeing it. We're always trying to make, I'll talk for myself, trying to make connections with my motherland, with my family, with businesses, my grandparents' ancestry, my property that I've got there, everything that I'm trying to do. There's only so much I can do. I'm also trying to work with particular organizations as well in Mali. So I'm Nigerian, okay, and my mum's from Grenada. So there's certain things I'm doing there, and there's other things that I'm also doing in Mali as well. When I'm actually trying to connect with more businesses, it's very frustrating. Because when you look at who is the CEO of these panels, there's a white person. That's a very, very frustrating thing for me. And somebody else brought this up the other day. It was somebody yesterday talking about even when it comes to our banking systems and stuff like that back in the continent, and how these things, of course, were implemented, of course, by the Europeans. So we've got a lot of work for us to do in the diaspora by trying to remove the European influence, because it's not been to our benefit. The thing is, right, as black and brown people, as Africans and Caribbeans, we ain't got no problem with nobody. We ain't got no problem with nobody.
We don't really.
They saw us as the problem because we were the ones who were naturally abundant, etc. And then and then came to destroy what we had. So then we have to think, well, then clearly you're not for us. So now we have to get you out. That's the reason why we have to get you out of where we are.
And I talk to a lot of African people. I live in a city that is military, so it's like a little microcosm of America. So I get a lot of chance to talk to Sudanese people from Mali. I love my people. I'm one of the African Americans who is a foundational, if I must, which I always tell them, why is you relegating yourself to a 3-letter agency?
Yeah.
You understand this? I'm 53 years old. I ain't never heard no black people go around talking about I'm a foundational black American. How can you be foundational when the very system you live under is built against you and your family?
Yeah.
You know, and when they say
I'm going to bring in.
indigenous,
I'm going to bring in Loske as well. Loske, my brother. I'm just going to get, because again, like I've said, everybody can just chime in at any time, but please be respectful. But Loske, can I just get the ethnicity of your biological parents, please, my brother, for the people here? Are you there?
What's happening?
Loske? Yes.
What's good?
Hiya.
Right.
What's good? Good to see you. Yeah, biological parents, ethnicity for the people, please.
Yeah, my parents are Congolese.
Thank you so much. Mimi, if you're able in the chat, please can you do 100% mute today, 100% in the comment section. That's nothing to do with what we're talking about here. 100% on the anti-blackness, because I think you're probably the only mod here that's here at the moment. 100% on the anti-blackness, 100% stupid, anything to do with me being racist, like white people, disgruntled stuff. We're not interested in that. This is a black people only conversation. We're focusing on us today, Mimi. Thank you for the help. Yes, so anyone else wants to continue and contribute to the conversation, please? Anything that's on your mind? Yeah, thank you, Rasta Pinky, as well. Thank you.
Could I just say, just before you go out, I just wanted to say, I'm definitely for what you're saying, Fox, but another part of the conversation that people don't want to talk about is how some of us are going to have to be left behind.
Yeah.
Some black people are going to have to be left behind because they don't want to be a part of this, and they will definitely try and stop this from happening to please their masters.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. We know this.
And identifying these people is the hard part.
Not really. Not really. I mean, I can say that. I say that as an American, though. I say that as American.
People pretend very well, bro.
Yeah, but always remember, we are African. So we bond and our spirit connect before I even. When we look at each other, we don't have to even say anything.
Yeah,
and I can feel
for me though. Can I give you sort of my perspective as well though? Because the guys here who are here regularly know I'm heavily colonized. You can hear the accent. You know, I'm very much British in
but
my
your heart ain't
things. Yeah, my heart isn't. But it took me a long time to even know what Africanness is. Even to this day, I can't tell you. I can't tell you much about my Nigerian side. I can't tell you much about my Grenadian side. Unfortunately, I can't tell you much, and that's why one of the first things I said on here is, even if you don't identify with your particular culture, your ethnicity, just look at the skin first of all. I know it's superficial, but that's where some of us are, right? That's literally where some of us are. If I see you and you look like me, and I then know that you come from Africa, you're my brother and sister regardless. Like, I know this, and like what I even say with the FBA stuff, like I know where they're coming from in a roundabout way. So that's why I don't want to say any sort of really not insanely, that's the wrong word to use, any things that will not let them come and be part of the global majority again, being part of blackness again. That's why I'm kind of a bit, with it on that matter. But at the same time, Lost K is absolutely right. And I think most of us are aware is that not everyone's going to be able to come along. And like what I said earlier, you can only say so much to somebody. And if they don't want to see it, and if they don't want to come on board, then they are going to be left, because we're very clear about what the future is. The future is black. The future is black women, actually, specifically. It's very much about us and bringing our black brothers along and making sure that nobody is going to fall into these stupid games. So, for example, I did a live quite some time ago about the ways that we are divided, right? Through religion is one of them. That's why I put spirituality up there. Of course, we know that white Europeans push Christianity to divide us. The N-word. I have to say this, it was brought up earlier, someone did say it, but people need to actually understand the history of the N-word, where it came from, and keeping it in circulation does not help our people. 100% it does not help at all. If you think it helps, if you think it's something that you needed to do to decolonize, or whatever your reasons are, okay. But the fact of the matter is that white people have always used that word for us, and they've put it back in the mainstream now, because why? People still use it in circulation. You have to be smarter than this. This is the thing here. We have to be a lot smarter than we're being, a lot smarter. What was the other thing I said? Well, of course, white people is part of it. There are people that have divided us. And there was a fourth thing, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But those are the main things, really and truly. And actually, I think it was just the diaspora wars phrase, again, which is why we're using that. Because you don't say that there's Asian diaspora wars. You don't say that there's white diaspora wars. Like, nobody else uses those phrases. It just doesn't happen. So we need to stop playing into all of those stupid things. And I also talk about the stupid conversations I always bring up. Black men, why are you obsessed with black women's hair? Stupid conversation. Let them be. What, black women, why are you saying that black men are useless? Stupid conversation. Talk about all men being useless then. Don't go for our black men. Don't go for them. Let them show them for themselves. If they're ones who are being the idiots and not being supportive of black women, let them go. Let them leave. Don't be in these stupid conversation. It is so not beneficial because, like I always say, the people who are always watching these conversations are white people because they study us. That's why we have to be smarter. We have to be smarter.
Well, and just on that with the N word. Okay, I'm from Florida. All right. So here in America, we call Florida the dirty South, it's the most southern point of America. Now, when you want to talk about black indigenous, the problem is that world history, we looking at world history through a European lens. And the European lens is only 7,000 to 6,000 years old.
Yeah.
We got pyramids older than that. We got books older than that. So that causes a problem with the African American because they don't realize, and majority of us do. Like I say, this is something new. It's just got so much play because it is an agenda, like the young lady said, of COINTELPRO. So they promote it. And that's why we talking about it. But in America, in the streets and all, black people not running around here talking about FBA. Matter of fact, we love the car. We African. I'm African, but don't play with me. You understand? We just American style. Now, we've been raised around some of the most violent people on earth. So if you done been the butt of the bully all these 400 years, then quite naturally, you are going to be aggressive. You are going to watch everything, every move, every sound made. Why? We are conditioned.
Sorry to cut you, brother, because you made the point, because I actually agree that it's not everybody, it's not every American that thinks that way, and it's not every British person that thinks that way, because you do have like the British side of it where they think, oh yeah, we're indigenous to England, but the thing is, it's only the people on TikTok, it's only the people on TikTok, and you have to be careful because TikTok will make you think it's the whole world because it's connected to the whole world. Like, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been on lives where I've been sucked into it and I've been like, oh yeah, you African this and you African that, but that's purely because you're dissing my Jamaican culture and my heritage, and I'm proud of that. I'm not saying that Americans shouldn't be proud of their culture and their heritage, but you are not indigenous to that land. It's not really an issue about being proud, because just like I told you, everything that make America great, black people did it. All right. Only thing white folks got is money. That's it.
What they stole from us. What they stole from us and what they make off of us. No, exactly. I'm just gonna bring in Enigma a minute. 1 minute, Nate. I'm gonna bring in Enigma and also just to bring in the ethnicity of our brothers at the top. Enigma, how are you today?
It's man. It's been a long time since I've seen you.
I know. You too, brother. You too. It's so lovely to see you here. So thank you for coming by. Can we just get the ethnicity of your biological parents, please, for the people?
Oh, most definitely. I've come from a black ass household. Born and raised in the DMV area. My father is from Darlington, South Carolina. Was born on a plantation in 1964 in Darlington, South Carolina. My mother is from. She's from Brooklyn, New York. Was raised in Maryland most of her life since the age of 6. Her mother was Black American and her father was Afro Latino from Samaná, Dominican Republic. So I am African American and Afro Latino. I'm Black on both sides. So yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And then we've got Joseph Singleton at the top, please. Joseph, are you well today, Joseph?
I am well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good. I'm good, thank you. So can I get the ethnicity of your biological parents, please, if you know them?
Yes, I do know them. My mother is Black from Manhattan. My father is Black from Brooklyn.
Okay.
Both of my grandmothers were Black. One was from Alabama, and the other one was from North Carolina. And one of my grandfathers was from Panama, which in Central America, and the other grandfather was from South Carolina. So
Lovely. No, so it's lovely. Like, this is the thing I love about this conversation, is that all we need to do is just, if you identify as Black, that's all it needs to be. Like I say, on a superficial level. Yeah, on a superficial level, right? I'm not one of these people that's like, well, where did you come from beforehand? I really don't need to know. I don't think it's important. But like we were saying, the problematic thing about the FBA thing is that it doesn't seem to be that they're actually for the unity of Blackness. That's where I come from with this thing. So I don't need to know more than that, as long as it's about us.
Some are, some aren't. I was surprised at what the young man said, because the young man before me said is because most Dominicans don't identify as Black.
Yeah.
So he's a rare gem.
Well, I got.
Well, he's not Dominican though.
Well, I gotta correct you on that, brother. Yeah. Let me correct both of y'all. First and foremost, I was raised in Afro Latino culture due to how close my mother was to her father, which was from Sanama. And if you want to know about the history of Sanama was founded by freed Black Americans in 1820. So the descendants of those people from Samana are Black American descendants. They kept their last names, Green, Smith, Johnson, Goldie, whatever, Williams. They speak, that's the part of the island that speak the most English. Not only that, they speak 3 languages actually. They speak English, Dominican Spanish, and
actually technically it's 4, the Patois.
Yeah, and the Patois. I was just about to say, and the Salmonot Creole, and then you have Haitian Creole as well, because you had a lot of Haitians that moved over there, and it's the same island. But
yeah, I know it was originally Hispaniola. My grandfather taught me the history, and but my grandfather called the Dominicans traidores.
Yup. That's what, cause my family specifically, even though they're not African American descendants, my family on that side were actually descendants of Cocolos that came from St. Thomas. So I do have family, extended, probably far removed family in St. Thomas as well. But yeah, there's a lot of Dominicans that are from the island that do claim their Blackness. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of colorism within the community. Not only that, we do have a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for? A lot of anti-Blackness as well. So it's a lot of that, unfortunately, due to the way how the Spaniards colonized us, and then how Trujillo basically affected his reign on Black Dominicans and Black Haitians that were already over there. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's just really, really interesting to just hear where everyone comes from and their lineage and their roots. And this is the whole thing, right? It's about having patience and understanding for each other. There is not enough of it on TikTok, like at all. And there's a reason why I have had to create more spaces like this, because there is so much arguing and so much, yeah, well, you're from there. Don't tell someone where they're from. Like, don't tell them. Let them tell you let them tell you their story, where they come from, and it's up to them to unpack. And like I say, it's about the things that connect us, right? And you know, these things are really important. There's someone else who wanted to add something as well. We've also got Dark Truth is also coming up. Who else wanted to add something? Alvin. Yes, Alvin. You're right.
Yeah. Can I have some few things, please?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, the first thing is that I've noticed from traveling and meeting people is that, like they said, there used to be two kinds of slaves: the home slave and the field one, and that's it still today. And why did I say that? We black people, we think we are too disciplined. We want to be disciplined. We want to be honest. We want to do things right. Oh, I'd rather say this than let you go. And that's killing us. And I've noticed that has divided us a lot. And how that came to be, I don't understand. Something is not right. But there's a particular race that is doing it against your person, but you still want to say it's right. But when it gets to their turn, they don't care if it's right or wrong. They support themselves. But you don't want to support your own kind because you want to say it's right. It has to be like this. And that's killing us. That is where the division comes. And they use that against us a lot. Divide and rule. Divide and rule. They know once we're not united, there's nothing we can achieve. Nothing. And that has cut across everywhere. When I came to the UK, that was when I knew, I'm a black person, but I'm not UK. Even when I meet a typical black person, because I don't speak in it, they feel like I'm inferior. Yeah, when you go to America, you don't. If I'm black and I don't speak, I wanna gonna. I'm not.
Don't play those games. Don't play those games. Like I say, when you don't play the games. Exactly. Thank you, Joseph. It is like don't play it. No one can tell me. No one can tell me because I speak in an English accent that I'm less black, that I'm less African, like I'm less something. No one can tell me nothing. Like I said, I don't particularly have like a close connection to those roots. Like I said, because colonization and living outside of the UK, etc. But no one can tell me something, and everybody else has to be exactly the same. Don't get into those arguments. Always flip it back around on them. Okay, well, where are you from then? Like, how do you? Don't take the energy. That's what. Just bring it back on them and just say, okay, interesting, and then walk away. It's done.
I really don't like that energy either, because just like with the brother Adonis, what he was talking about, the brother that came to Britain, I used to watch a lot of, and at one point before he got famous, we used to talk every day. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother right there. But actually seeing him go over there, and what kind of really frustrated me, especially when it came to a lot of the Caribbean blacks, more so than the Africans, was the simple fact that they were using that same rhetoric. And I'm like, well, Jamaica, Haiti, wherever you come from, those are just now recent countries, right? So again, like situation that everybody's in, we had to really, when you talking about doing work on global black history, black Americans put their foot in the door for everybody else to learn. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when we understand at the end of the day that there was colonialization and that we all stemmed from the same root, but the problem that I feel like a lot of Caribbean and Africans tend to do a lot of the time, unfortunately, is try to demean us in the way like we don't know where we come from. We know exactly where the fuck we come from. Again, my peoples come from Darlington, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We know exactly where we come from. It's the simple fact that you're being intellectually dishonest. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it boils down to, is intellectually dishonesty. Because again, if we flip that same logic back onto, you know what I'm saying, our Caribbean brothers and sisters, then they start looking confused. You know what I'm saying? So again, like when we're having these discussions, the biggest things that we have to have is integrity and intellectual honesty. You know what I'm saying?
Could I answer that? We do need. Could I respond to that? We do need an intellectual integrity, honesty. We also need, to a large degree, empathy. We also need to let go of ego. As a people, we need to let go of ego. Like some of these lives, I hear Africans putting down
in 300 yards at the roundabout. Take the third exit onto Brighton Road. A23.
Who's traveling?
Americans putting down Africans. You got these crazy Americans that say, "Oh, I'm the Black American," saying, "I'm Black American and I have no connection to Africa." And then they say stupid things like, I've got my genealogy 10 generations back. My complete genealogy. Wait. Let me finish. My complete genealogy 10 generations back. That means you are aware of all 4,094 people it took to make you. Because when you say 10 generations, that means 4,094 people. You know all 4,094 people it took to make you. Because remember, you have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, and every generation doubles.
I'm just going to interrupt everyone for a minute, just because I want to drive these points home. Okay, so what we need to do is, yes, we're having conversation, but we need to also have action. Okay, I think what we're all understanding here is knowing oneself, right? Knowing oneself is very important in terms of unifying with Black people everywhere. Knowing oneself, like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily have to be about your ethnicity or your background or culture. You just need to know yourself. What does that look like? How can you be the most confident person ever? These guys here who know I'm here all the time, I hear often, they know that no one can tell me nothing. At all. And like I've said to you 3 times now, I'll say it again, I'm not particularly connected to my Nigerian heritage. Why? Because my father came to the UK. He actually lived in France first. He moved to the UK. He met my mother in London. Both of them had to speak English. And then English became the language of my family, because my mother was not from Yoruba tribe. They didn't have the connection there, right? And so that's how it became my story. So that's how I've been disconnected from my African roots, and even my Caribbean roots, actually, from my Grenadian roots. I'm not that connected, unfortunately for me, and it does make me sad. It does hurt my heart. But you can't tell me nothing. And everybody has to be exactly the same. So we have to make sure that we're not spending too much time telling everybody who they are or who they aren't, but just know oneself. Know oneself, okay? And anyone who's going on to other spaces, other TikTok lives to discuss things, if your energy feels off, you're not supposed to be there. I don't spend a lot of time actually into other TikTok spaces because the energy is just so off. People are angry all the time. People are upset all the time. People don't respect each other. I don't spend my time a lot in other people's spaces, a lot.
Thank you.
So this is very important. Yeah, so it's okay. So it's really important that everybody else recognizes that here. Enigma, I was listening on the FYP, by the way, by your live a couple of days ago. I was supposed to come in, but I got hungry. I had to go and eat dinner. But I will come in.
What live was it that I was doing?
Was it yesterday or so? You were lying in bed, like you were lying down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you was even in there. Nah, thank you. I appreciate your support.
I was watching.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. So, and like when I hear that there are really good black brothers and sisters on here, like you guys know that I will always say, please create your platform, please add your voice, please protect your space. Like protecting the space is also really important. I know I'm kind of diverging a little bit, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about black people online and our platforms and our voices. Very fucking important. Very important. Those guys who are here regularly know that my space is very protected. I have like 15, 16 moderators now, and I've specifically said the rules for today. No anti-blackness, no racism, no stupid white shit down there. It must be 100% muted today. Why? So we can focus on the conversation. If we're focusing too much on other groups of people, we are getting further and further away from our unity. And so any person, any black person that has a space, what are you doing also to unify us as people? And I gave up the examples earlier of the conversations that are happening in the black diaspora, which are not conductive to us as people. Like I said, the N-word, Christianity or religions, white people as a general thing, it's not conductive to us. People know here that when I talk about white people, it's to humiliate them, it's to show them for who they are so that we feel empowered again as our people. That's what it's for. My platform is not for white people.
So Empress, did you make the video that said the question, who hates white people the most? And then you
that was me.
That was you. What did they do with that video? Did they block that?
No, it's still, it did get restricted, but it's back up.
That was the one. I was the one that commented, and I was talking to the lady Connie.
Oh,
that was
in the comment
me.
section.
Yeah, they flagged me for that.
Did they?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, when we talking about this creator, because see, what I've been doing is I got another phone, I got another page, and it's blank. And so that algorithm sends me, oh my God. Do y'all know how many videos these people got out with that dude singing these songs by unaliving us and hanging us?
Yeah.
And it's all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Bro, I done reported that. I done reported that.
They have so much. Racism, so much anti-blackness is everywhere. But as soon as we say something, this. I have 5 accounts now. I've had 2 shut down previously. This one got a flag. It gave me a account warning. I have content and comments blocked all the time. I can't say that Jesus was not this color without getting blocked. If you talk about Jesus now, being where he's actually from, you're flagged.
Yes, it's as if because when I was on the video, I was talking to the lady, and and she was trying to, but I was digging in her chest, and then a lot of people started liking it, right? So the next thing I know, they flagged me. They flagged, and I'm not on here to monetize anything. Yeah, I'm just on here to connect with my people and build bridges. That's it. I make my money going to work, so that's not what I'm here for. So when I speak about things, I'm really coming truthfully as I could be, because the same way I am on TikTok is the same person you gonna see in real life.
Same.
Like I don't play those kind of games, just like you were saying. And Ross, they would tell us, know thyself. You understand? It's the know thyself. You see? And so again, when the brother was saying that you got some people talking about these genealogies, 10 generations, can't listen. During the transatlantic, that erased all of that. Yeah. They didn't keep paperwork. The only people they kept paperwork on was the nobility. That was it. Everybody else was name, mother. You was a product. So when somebody tell you they don't went back 10 generations and did they the genealogy in America, I'm sorry. That's not true. That's not true. Because again, even my family, when we did ours, we was able to get back to 1732, and when we went in to do the patriarch's DNA and all, it came back Bantu, around South Africa, Angola. So my people, me personally, my people, that's why when I talk to FBAs, I have to tell them, listen, man, I'm both. You see, because my great grandmama is a Cherokee who married an African slave and had children on my mother's side. Then my daddy's side, my daddy's dad is Gullah Geechee, which is
I'm just gonna interrupt you to go back to the point that you mentioned about the video that I've done, okay, Jarson. So on my page, so on my page, if you guys have seen it or not seen it, I've started to do more, and anyone who's here regularly, I've done some history quizzes before, because of course, as you rightly brought up, Jarson, is that a lot of our own history and our heritage has been erased by all of our paperwork being thrown into the seas, etc. And I've talked about this a lot, and those people who are spiritual here, they know that you can set fire to the libraries and throw our paperwork in the water. The DNA still exists. Our story still lives within us, right? So we can still remember, and our lineages is still going to be there. So like you've said, you've traced yours back to 1700s. Like, we are still able to do it regardless of what the white man does to us. So now on my page, I've talked about one of the narratives is what they tried to say about black people is that we're the most violent and that we do all these terrible things. But when you pick, you don't even have to do it. Just look at white history. It is full of brutality. It is violent. It is disgusting. It is horrendous. And they've done it to all 7 continents, right? They've done it to everybody, not just us. They've done it to everybody. And so on my page, I've got a white people quiz. I've got a black versus white quiz, because this is where I try to get people, black people especially, to understand that white people don't hate us, and we need to stop hating ourselves, because I see so much self-hatred, which makes me so freaking sad. White people were indiscriminate with their hate. They hate everybody, but mostly they hate themselves first. And that's the video that Jarson is talking about, right? So that video now has got 84,000 views. It's got, let me find it. It's got, oh, here it is. It's got 14,000 likes, and it was restricted by TikTok. They actually stopped it. They said it breached community guidelines, but now they've reinstated it. And it's literally just showing you just how brutal the white man was, right? In everything that they've done in these world wars. We weren't invited, we weren't involved. Black and brown people weren't involved. This was white on white crime, but we only got involved because of colonization, because of the Commonwealth. They said, hey, and we'll promise you land, and we'll promise you bits and pieces, and we'll drag you into our bullshit. That's the only reason why we were involved. It was white on white crime. Twice they did a world war. Twice. And guess what? They're doing another one now.
They're trying to do it again.
They're trying to do it again. So this is why I'm going to... 1 minute, Nate, and let me finish this one point. Ubuntu, thank you for saying this in the comment section. You've said one piece of advice would be that we need to make a new timeline when we find out the truth. Some of us are already in it. That's why I use my platform to decolonize. That's why I'm talking about history, real history, right? And this is where we need to understand, and this is how we empower each other as black people, okay? It is really finding out the truth. None of this anti-black shit. If I see you doing it, you're not welcome here. You're in the old timeline. You're still underneath the colonizer. You're still over there. Thank you as well. Be Limble. Good to see you in the comment section, and thank you for your comments as well. The time is now. So that's why I said it's not if. It's like we're in it now, and everybody needs to come on board, realign yourself, educate yourself, because the white man has never educated us in the things that we were supposed to know. It is self-responsibility, and make sure that you're going to the right spaces to empower and to learn. Nate, yes.
What you were saying about how white people hate each other. I remember in school, there was this running joke. There was an Englishman, a Scottish man, and an Irishman.
An Irishman,
And then the Irishman was always the butt of the joke. Second to that was the Scottish man. But the Englishman was always the top. He was never the butt of the joke. So it just goes to show that they hate each other, and it's like, well, I would say it's mostly the English, really and truthfully.
It's the Anglo-Saxon.
Because I remember, talking about football to some work colleagues, to YT people, and I was saying, why doesn't, like, it would be better if Alex Ferguson was to manage the English team, because they never win. They never win. Yeah.
Yes.
So then a Scottish man said to me, he would never. Like, there's a deep-rooted hatred for the English. He would never do that. Like, yes. And the thing is, it's like, it's true. It's true, because they go around, like, mostly the English people, saying that they're, like, look, for instance, they call themselves great. What about them is great?
No. Do you know why it was called Great Britain? Why they called it that? Do you know why?
I feel like it's two reasons. Like, one of the reasons was because they're a bigger empire than the Romans. Like,
no, the factual reasons, not what you think, but the fact, like, why they actually called it Great Britain. Do you know?
Well, you go ahead then. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So in the British Isles, of course, it wasn't called the British Isles, but in that area, because the United Kingdom, or at that time was called Britain, was the biggest island. They just had to assert themselves over Brittany, which of course is a French island, right? So they had to say, well, we're the great ones. It was inferiority. It was literally because they felt so inferior, they had to call themselves Great Britain. And thank you, Ella. They can't spell great either. Honestly, in my comment section, they're always spelling it Grate. I even have a video about this as well. They can't spell it. The one and only language that they know, they can't speak and spell it. But they had to call themselves Great Britain just because they felt inferior. Right, I'm just going to go to Dark Truth. I'm going to get the ethnic backgrounds of everybody else who's come to panel, and then I'll come to you after Enigma. So we got Dark Truth. Dark Truth, how are you? Oh, sorry, I did it at the same time. Dark Truth?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good.
Hi.
I'm biracial. My mom is white and Hispanic, and my dad is black. I don't know where
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Today, this is like black. But please do stay in the comment section, though. I have done mixed biracial panels before, so when I do that again, I would love you to come up. Of course, anytime, because I see you in the comment section anyway. So thank you so much, Dark Truth, anyway, for being here. So we've got now Cannon as well. Cannon, can I get the ethnic background of your biological parents, please, Cannon?
Hi, ethnic background, black, Jamaican, Caribbean, African. Yeah.
Both of them?
Yeah, one parent is mixed. One parent is half white and half black, and then other parent is black.
Okay, this is where I'll get a bit like, So you're a quarter white, are you?
I'm black.
You're black.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, yeah. Yeah,
he's 3/3 black and 1/4.
He answered in the affirmative.
Yeah. I have to be aware of it because, this is where the anti-blackness creeps in sometimes. So that's why I have to, of course, ask everybody. And I'll see how white you end up being, Karen. Obviously, I know you've been here before, and I know you've been in my comment section, but I'm going to judge you, okay? Right, we've got Cardinal as well, please. Cardinal, can you tell me the ethnic background of your biological parents, if you know them, please? Cardinal.
Cyprus. So I'm not black, but I'm not white.
But this says black panel, black people.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, because I was just watching your...
No, go away. It says black people only panel. There's other panels that you could go to anytime. Don't come here and try to take over spaces that aren't for you. It's just rude. I'm on this live how many times a week, right? How many times a week? And you can come up anytime. But when it's the black people only panel, you come up here and talk. Honestly, they want to colonize all the time. Right, we got Clivey next, please. Clivey, can I get the ethnic background of your biological parents, please?
Jamaican.
Both your parents?
Yeah. Port Antonio in Jamaica and St. Elizabeth.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, the enigmas. The Enigma has got something that they want to say now. The Enigma.
Yeah, because I was, and I don't try to like address the comments or anything like that, especially dealing with white people. But I keep seeing this one, the Irish people. He keeps spamming your comments, and like one thing that he was talking about is how the Irish were always considered underdogs, and I had to basically correct him. No, you guys were underdogs to other Europeans. So again, y'all have.
They're here because of me. I'm an activist in Ireland against racism, so they follow me around the app to try and destroy my credibility. But it's not working.
Moderators here. If anybody in the comment section is actually to do with anything else, we're not interested. So anything to do with Irish conversations, European, we're not interested. Okay, moderators. If anyone else is still here, Water Goddess, I know you're on the panel now. Can you mute this, because it's not anything to do with what we're discussing. Like I said, it's 100% black conversation today. Black, African, Caribbean diaspora. We're not interested in Irish people were oppressed too. It's not the conversation. We're not interested in having Cypriot people. Well, I'm not either of that. No, go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Please, it is very important you do that. So let's talk about health for a minute, okay, guys? One thing that affects our community a lot is sickle cell, and someone brought this up this week. If anyone has seen or not seen, they finally managed to find a cure for it for the first time now in the US. Has anyone seen this? Has anyone seen it?
I haven't.
You haven't seen
But
it?
you know what? But you know what, sis? You know what's the interesting thing about that? Is that the reason why sickle cell anemia research even became a thing was due to the Black Panther Party of Winston-Salem. They actually had a EMT program and a whole like medical program in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And for the longest time, the American government, they did not want to research sickle cell anemia due to the fact that they believed it to be a black disease. So when the federal government finally disbanded and evaporated the Black Panther Party through COINTELPRO, I don't know if you know about that, J. Edgar Hoover's plan to basically to thwart the Black Messiah, as he called it. They basically absorbed all those programs. So like the WIC program that we have over here in America, it was started by the Black Panther Party. Again, sickle cell anemia research was founded by the Black Panther Party. Of the Free Breakfast Program Initiative, which is in all the public schools in America, was started by the Black Panther Party. So again, when it comes to our history, you know what I'm saying, and especially in America, it's so much innovations and so much inventions and things that we done did to bring up American society that just get shoved and basically burnt down in the history books, and you know we don't ever talk about it. So
they colonize it. They colonize it.
Exactly, brother. They colonize it and they name it another thing. I mean, just like when I learned about the move schmombings of 1985 in Philadelphia. And my cousin is from, I have family from Philadelphia. My grandmother's first cousin is Stanley Clark. If y'all know who Stanley Clark is, that's a relative of mine. He's one of the world's famous bass guitarists. He actually did the soundtrack for Boys in the Hood. So that saxophone joint y'all hearing, yeah, my cousin did that. So you know, but he talks about, he used to bring that up a lot when we used to talk to him. Last time I talked to him, I'll probably say it was damn near a decade ago, because he was torn. But yeah, he's very in tune to Black history in Philadelphia as well, and he brought me up onto game about that shit. And the simple fact that it happened in 1985 is crazy, you know.
In a new day.
I'm going to show everybody about the sickle cell thing that happened. So basically, it's a Louisiana man. He's the first in the state to be functionally cleared of a sickle cell disease, which is a massive
Massive thing.
Round of applause for that man, man.
Medical milestone. A New Orleans man is now the first person in the state functionally cured of sickle cell disease through gene therapy. 23-year-old Daniel Cressy went through a 2-year treatment at Manning Family Children's Hospital, and doctors say disease is no longer active in his systems.
You know, God has given me another life, a new chapter. I was able to experience a second birthday, something that most people will never experience.
What is gene therapy? Well, doctors say it uses a patient's own stem cells, which are edited in a lab so they stop making the defective blood cells, which in turn cause sickle cell. Now, Cressy says the disease nearly took his dream of becoming a pilot. He wants to start a nonprofit now to help others. About 3,000 people in Louisiana live with sickle cell.
Okay, so that's massive. That's really massive. So, you know, we're trying to make sure that, see, that's what happens. The reason why I have to make sure that the live, it does not like you showing videos on here. Of course, it doesn't like you show it. So some things have got restricted right now, but I think it should be lifted in a few minutes. Anyway, yeah, it is very important that people understand what sickle cell is, especially in the Black African diaspora, and the symptoms and how we actually are supposed to be looking out for these. I actually have sickle cell traits myself, and somebody who came up yesterday talked about their sickle cell traits and that they're trying to, of course, give birth, and how it affects you. It hasn't affected me.
Yeah.
But let me tell you some things for those of you who don't know about sickle cell and the ways that it affects you, and that how you can actually start to look at your symptoms and how you should look at getting treatment. Okay, so some of the symptoms are delayed growth during childhood. You have maybe a delayed puberty. You can get gallstones, which can cause tummy, abdominal pain, yellow skin of the eyes, and of yellow skin and of the eyes as well, which is the jaundice. You can get bone and joint pain. You can have a persistent and painful erection of the penis, which can sometimes last for several hours. You can have open sores, very painful ones on your lower legs. There's also strokes, where blood flow of the blood to the brain is blocked or interrupted. You can also have acute lung conditions called acute chest syndrome, which can cause fever, cough, chest pain, breathing difficulties, swelling of the spleen, which can cause shortness of breath, a rapid heartbeat, tummy pain, swollen tummy, and anemia, because anemia is a big part of it. The blood, of course, you don't have the red blood cell count is too low. Eyesight problems such as floaters, blurry-eyed, patchy vision, reduced night vision, and a sudden loss of vision. High blood pressure in the blood cells that carry blood from the heart and the lungs. Kidney or urinary problems, including blood in the urine and bedwetting. And last week I talked about diabetes, actually, which of course is prevalent in over 25s of the Black and African diaspora, Caribbean diaspora. So after 25, please check for any symptoms for diabetes. It's very important. All you need to do is just type in I think it's called know your, let me find it just quickly. It's called
Empress, with diabetes,
just give me one minute. Let me find this thing. Give me a minute and then you can continue your point. Where is it? Oh, I can't. Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, if you type in Know Your Risk Diabetes UK, then you can do your diabetes test, okay? So that's important. And also check for sickle cell. Very, very important. I'm just going to restart the live. Yeah, I'm going to restart it. Thank you, Nate, because I've just been shadow banned for showing that video. So, yeah, that's what happens on here. As you know, Jar, you've seen my restrictions already. Yeah. So we're going to restart it, okay? So if everybody can come back to the live, I'd really appreciate it. We're going to restart now.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Please come back. Please come back. Let's restart. Thank you. We're back again. Very, very frustrating. So welcome back, everybody. We've got to do it again. TikTok is very annoying how it restricts me for sharing information for, the black brothers and sisters. It's very frustrating. Fifi is here. Fifi, please come up. It'll be lovely to have you on my panel. Of course, as always, Fifi, it's always a joy to hear your voice. Thank you, Brown Eyed Cypriot Gal. I'm so happy that you're here, by the way. I know we had a little interesting thing from a Cypriot gentleman there, which was like, what is he talking about? Yeah, so I think everybody's coming back. Everyone's coming back. Oh, hold on. What's happening? Pardon me. Oh, okay. Yes, here we go. Everyone's coming back. Nate is back. Thank you so much. Water Goddess is back. Thank you so much. Enigma is back. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mimi, my live got restricted and they couldn't be reposted or shared. So we have to start again. That's the reason why. So
to interrupt you, the Irish guy Cannon, he's right. He does come with a lot of baggage. In the same way that you're fixated, you've got a fixation. Well, some people are fixated on you. It's the same way that they follow him around as well. So I just wanted to come up and say, those of us that are modded, we've got to be on point when he's around.
Yes.
No offense to him, but to the crowd that he brings.
I'm sorry too. Thank you so much. This is what we're talking about here. It's like literally today, 100% block on the people who have nothing to do with our conversation. Because eventually I am going to move these privately, these conversations. But of course, we're just building the network at the moment. Water Goddess.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't. That news about the sickle cell just made me happy cry, and I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
Oh.
My nephew. Sorry, in 1 second. My vacuum started. My nephew had sickle cell syndrome, and he had to be hospitalized, and he lost all his hair. And he got a bone marrow transplant from his brother, so he was good. But he was just a 6-year-old in the hospital all the time, couldn't go anywhere, immunocompromised because he was just stripped. This made me so happy. I can't even explain it. Like, I'm sorry, I don't cry on the internet. I don't really cry at all, but this is...
You're okay. You can cry here. You can cry here. You see, we're crying with you, sister. We're crying with you, sister. It is really important that we look at the ways that we can be saved, and the fact that your young family member had to go through so much is so sad. It is so sad, there's so many things, and I know you and I are on a spiritual journey, right? So you always ask the question, well, why did it happen? Why does it have to happen to our young ones? Like, why does it have to happen? And sometimes the answer kind of makes sense, and other times it doesn't make sense. But what we can take, of course, is that really good news, right? That really, really good news to say that there's going to be more of us, that when this happens to us, we can find, first of all, like I say, what I try to do here is literally highlight some of the health problems that are in our community. That's an important step. And then how do we heal these things? I also talk about mental health issues. So I talk about physical issues and also mental health issues. I'm very open with the people here that I've had therapy myself. I had it for 8 months in 2020. Those guys know that I'm back in it now. But they've actually asked me, the NHS has asked me to be part of a study for ADHD and eating disorders now. And I think they probably want me to be part of it as being a black woman. And there's also more studies to do with PCOS as well. So these are kind of good things. When this research is done, I know just us as black and brown people, though, we need to be very aware about what we lend ourselves to in terms of study, right? Because some of the studies are not to our benefit and some of them are. But when I literally got this whole, it was like 10-page document from the NHS saying, we would love you to be part of this. We're looking at this. Can you be part of this? It was so overwhelming for me because I'm ADHD. Am I supposed to read all that? So I said, So I sent it to my mum. I said, Mum, can you read this, please? I think it seems like it's an okay thing, but can you read it? But guess what? My mum's probably on the spectrum somewhere else, so she ain't got back to me yet. Right. So someone needs to read. Someone needs to read this document for me to help me out, because I think it looks like it's a good thing. So yeah, black and brown people,
when there are certain things that are going to help us as a people, help us as a majority. Sickle cell. Oh, Mimi's got Crohn's. Yeah. So yeah, this is important for us, especially when we are living in the white Western European world. The good things are, and Fifi, if you're still here, you always bring this up. I always love to quote her. She always says, Black and brown people, we know we are the ones that do the longitudinal study. We bring our issues to the table. We talk about this is a problem, how are we going to fix it? And that's why there are statistics out now to say that black women are more times, however many times, likely to die because of X, Y, and Z. And guess what? They're going to fix the system. They haven't got a choice. They are going to fix the system. These white Western Europeans don't have a choice. They are fixing the systems around us because they know that we are the powerful ones and we are the most important ones. That's why they're fixing it. Otherwise, they can just ignore it. But they know that it will be a shit show, right? They know for a fact they cannot ignore us anymore. It can't be done because they are looking to us in order to be able to improve all of their Western European systems. The only reason why Western European systems are so good is because of black and brown people. Our influence, our knowledge, and all the things that we experience. The first healthcare, what is it in the US? Freedom Ambulance. Is that what it's called, right? Freedom Ambulance, if you guys know. The first healthcare system in America was by African Americans, by black Americans. And they took everything that we learned through study, through surgery, and they were doing amazing things, same within our continent. Exactly. Doing cataract surgery, right? In the motherland. They will improve their systems because of us, not because of themselves, because of us. Right? And the things that we know, and studying us is how they're managing to improve what they have. So, like I say, just be very aware, just be very careful about how we are integrating in these systems and what information can be used for us and what information can be used against us. It's very important to recognize this.
You also just said something that I completely forgot about. I also have ADHD, but I'm also autistic. I forgot that there is a connection between ED and ADHD. And I was like, oh, you just made something connect in my brain. That makes sense. That makes a lot of more sense. And to also your point in health, when it comes to us as a global majority, the things that we are eating right now are the things that white people are accustomed to. We are not. Most of us are lactose intolerant. Most of us can't handle gluten. Hell, red meat is not something most of us are really just eating out here. Just like on this dying scale that we are. And we need stuff. We
it's very true.
We pretend like allergies and like mild reactions to things aren't really that important. I also do this, but it is. It is.
You're very right. Especially when I see the videos from the US, I am disgusted. The fruit bending and not breaking. I'm like, oh, what is this nonsense? What is this stuff? And I think it's really interesting, especially English people saying, oh, we don't want any of that American stuff. I'm just like, that's your family. Right. They're literally you. They're like the worst versions of you is over there. This is your people. And your stuff in the UK is also changing. I live in a Muslim country. Those of you guys know, you know, I know you know Water Goddess. You know I left 5 years ago. And honestly, the quality of food I eat is so bloody beautiful. I talk about the sweetest watermelon. When watermelon season is, oh my God, it's the best. I grow things in my garden. I can grow my peaches. I can grow my plums. I grow lemons. I grow oranges. I got tangerines, right? So I'm doing as much as I can in terms of fruit, and I'm also growing onions. I've got a property 2 doors away because I can't have the dogs around. So I've got onions over there. I'm growing more watermelons for myself over there. But when I go back to the UK and I taste the fruit, I'm like,
some stuff.
Yeah, like it doesn't taste. Yeah. Where's the taste? There's no taste. Like it tastes plain.
Yeah, it just like it has no flavor. Like it looks really pretty, and it tastes like
yes.
It's all aesthetics.
You're right, because when you go, like I said with the fruit, you look at all those beautiful, the way it's packaged, and the strawberries look so red, and the kiwi looks so green. I'm like, wow, pineapple looks so yellow. I'm like, great. Oh, but it doesn't.
There's no
Yes,
flavor. Everything's
exactly.
water. It's just
Yeah, but when I taste it here, it is so freaking sweet. Like the pineapple was beautiful. I'm like,
Yeah,
ooh.
because they back
That's
where
what
you are, they grow it until it's ripe. Over here, they force ripe it, so that it's all mass production over here.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think
like
that's what I always tell people. If you've never left
I'm just
Europe,
going to introduce everybody else. So Africa as well, and Diogo. Can we get the ethnic background of your biological parents, please? Africa.
I'm West African. I don't know. Do you want me to go down to my ethnic group?
Oh, we know Nigerian, brother. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, brother. It's good. Just for the people. And Diego as well. Can we get you as well, please, Diego? Diego.
Yeah, my parents are
Yep.
Caribbean. Yeah.
Which part of Caribbean? Which bits?
The land of wood and water.
Yeah, man. That's what I thought about. Right, that's all.
Thank you. Africa, you got some points that you wanted to add in there.
No, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, that's one of the things that if you've never left Europe or if you've never left like the UK, I always tell people you don't know what a real fruit tastes like because obviously the fruits that we have over here they don't taste like the actual what the fruits are supposed to taste like. So like if you've never left Europe, you don't know what a real pineapple tastes like. You don't know what a real watermelon tastes like. You don't know what a real mango tastes like. You don't even know what a real tomato tastes like. What we get in the UK are weird. It's a weird derivative of like mass production. Like the beautiful red tomatoes that we get. That's not what tomatoes look like. Like anybody who's been
Yeah, the
to
crunchy
I give
cucumber
you prime
mangoes as well.
example.
Yeah.
I give you prime example of that. Yeah, you see the fruits and the veg. Like I give you example like ginger. Yeah, the real ginger. You're supposed to smell it before you even get close to it. Yeah, like things like the pineapple as well. You're supposed to smell it before you get close to it. Like,
anybody's ever been to Nigeria or to West Africa, you know that like the bananas like that we get in Africa and the bananas here is like two different things, man.
Yeah, back home in Jamaica, they're short and stubby. You're right, brother.
Yeah, man.
I think
And what's weird is that like back home the bananas look like things that were grown out of the earth. They have blemishes, they have black spots, but when they open them, they taste good. Here we have these beautiful bananas that are yellow and crispy, but like when you open them, they taste of nothing. I think it's so symbolic of so many things.
Yes.
Like you have
Blandness. Blandness personified.
Honestly.
Sorry to cut you again, brother. Going back to ginger. Yeah. If you look at ginger in the supermarket, it looks like Frankenstein. Ginger, real ginger, is supposed to look like a baby fist. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the real original size of it. Yeah, but this ginger that we have over here, it looks like Frankenstein. It looks big, like and grotesque.
Oh, they said they gave y'all that G14 classified government issued motherfucker.
You're right.
Said they done gave y'all that GMO ginger. They said they try to mess up, and it's funny because there was a video that I cannot find no more, and it was a white man, and he was talking about how he owned a food lab actually, and how he basically tested a lot of the foods that we get within America as well, and how there are certain fruits that they actually modify in order to actually attack certain like ethnic groups and their DNA. And he basically just threw it out on Front Street, and he was like, yeah, the American government is literally trying to kill unalive Black Americans through the food. I mean, again, I'm from the DMV area. I'm from Washington. I was born in Washington DC. I literally live outside. I could walk to DC right now if I wanted to. But 30 minutes up the road to an hour is Baltimore, Maryland. And Baltimore, Maryland is infamous for their food deserts. Because we have to understand that Baltimore, Maryland is one of the most predominantly Black cities in America. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to the very blighted places within Baltimore, like West and East Baltimore, they don't have farmers markets. They don't have a Whole Foods. They don't have a local market in which they can really go to and get fresh produce. Now, what they do have is, a Chinese carryout. What they do have is McDonald's and Wendy's and Hip Hop Fish and Chicken on every corner and Kennedy's Fried Chicken. You know what I'm saying? Because they want us to slowly, you know what I'm saying, off ourselves, or get to a point where we're so unhealthy that we have to rely on their medical system and their pharmaceuticals that don't help us at all, because the way
Yes.
how their pharmaceuticals are set up, they're not designed for our bodies. We have to understand, we were the first people on the planet. So our DNA, our genes, everything in our body needs premium food. You understand? So that's why we're starting to get a lot of these, so-called, diseases, diabetes, and you know what I'm saying, hypertension, all this stuff, but not just
Hypertension.
only that, the hypertension, all that stuff, all these bad diseases. And not only that, I do believe that a lot of these, because now you're starting to see a rise of, not so much, but you're starting to see a rise of skin cancer within the black community. And then we have to understand, and I'm starting to realize that it's probably the shit that's in the food that's causing, because our ancestors didn't have
Definitely
skin
is.
cancer.
It definitely is. There's too many things to discuss here as well, but also to bring in sort of the women's element. I mentioned about PCOS earlier, and a symptom of PCS is actually your addiction to sugar, which of course is heavily in the Western foods, right? Like, what goddess, I hear you piping up there, girl. Yeah, the sugar content and the sugar addiction that you can get. Like, I used to be addicted to Haribo, and I didn't know. I should have realised that I was right being addicted to Haribo. But then when I started to do tests, it was because of PCOS. And I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how I'm going to naturally reverse. So because my body's actually okay, like I've done a lot of healthcare tests, there's some concerns I have, only one concern I have. So now I'm having to undo this. And it was actually helping me by moving out of the UK, because I'm not going to be, all of this processed food. Like we talk about the fact that you guys have Deliveroo and Uber and all these kind of things. It is so easy to fall down the bad food route, really and truly. So I'm connecting again. I think somebody did mention honey in the comment section. So just, is that Nate? Is that you again, Nate, interrupting me again for like the 5th time? Nate, if you've got ADHD, that's fine. I have ADHD as well, but you see me, I'm not interrupting unless I'm the host though. I got some privileges, Nate. I can interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. Then just be patient, brother. You know me, I'll come to you. So yeah, if you things like natural things, this is very important as part of the conversation, especially those of us who are on the spiritual journey. Try and eat more natural things, or at least try to cultivate wherever you can, right? If you can grow some apples, if you can grow your herbs, if you can grow your spices, find a way to get your green finger. In the UK, I found that quite hard, actually. I found it quite hard. So when I moved, I've been able to do it a little bit more. There might be something to do with the energy there, the fact that maybe I just wasn't confident enough. But the more that you can see and the more that you can understand our conversation, talking about especially the food thing, because it is a massive thing, that eating terrible foods really does keep your vibration low. And especially as black and brown people, we need to keep our energy up. And food is a very, 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 very big way on how they keep our energy very low. I'll always bring up my favorite movie, WALL-E. That movie was ahead of its time. What did they try to do? They just fed everybody, right? They fed them with the processed food. Then they told them exactly what they needed to watch on their television. That's the white man's story. It's not our story. That's the white man's story. So please do your best to come out of it. I know this food is addictive, but we need to find our ways to make our mental health really, really freaking strong. So Nate, you've got something that you wanted to share with us right now? Oh, you're growing. My boy is growing. Yeah. Hey. Beautiful.
That's how he's supposed to be.
Yes.
You got all his
Beautiful.
fresh produce, everything.
Beautiful. That's it, brothers and sisters. This is what we need to do. Try and grow. Try and cultivate. Beautiful. Perfect. That's it. And
host.
by the way, tomatoes is one of the easiest things to grow, guys. If you're a bit worried about growing things, tomatoes is so freaking easy. You can do that yourself.
Host,
In
did
my
you
other
guys?
garden over there, I thought I killed all the tomatoes. They've regenerated. I actually need to go and water them
No, you
in a
funny.
bit. So
Fox,
yeah,
did you guys
Enigma.
get the horse meat in the shops about 10 years ago or 8 years ago? We had that in Ireland. Is it In just kind like of like a free panel? Because I've been raising my hand for a
Yes.
while now, and
Oh yeah. Sorry, Diego.
everyone's
Yes,
kind
it
of just
is. Yeah, just
jumping
pipe
in. Are
up.
we like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let me just say this one thing. This here is a yucca tree, and
Oh.
like you can use the roots. You can boil the roots for if you're suffering as a woman with menstrual cycle, you can harvest the roots and boil it and drink it, and that will basically settle your symptoms. Like there's loads of things like daisies. You walk past daisies every day. That's packed with vitamin C. You can use that. Dandelion. You walk past it every day. That's more nutritious than kale. So yeah, just grow your own food, people, because these people don't care about us. They want to fuck every one of us up, whether you're white or black. You get me? So just
I
grow your
show.
own
I show.
things.
Diego, do you want a red carpet to
Yeah,
speak?
Diego.
Ha ha ha! So funny. But anyways, basically, what I wanted to highlight is, first of all, when we're talking about Africa and we're saying we're Pan Africanist, Africa was named after a white man. So if somebody's saying they're pro BLK and then they're in the same sentence saying that they're pro white man, it's kind of a contradiction. It doesn't make sense. Second point is that the NHS or the systems that people existed in terms of the Caucasoid YT systems are never going to get better. The NHS is never going to stop unaliving BLK women. It's never going to stop unaliving BLK men. The police are never going to stop being institutionally racist. And we have to be able to kind of understand that and be able to comprehend that. And until we do, we are still going to be stuck in the same rut. Another important point is that very quickly and very strategically and sadistically, people have always kind of infiltrated the BLK struggle and interjected a variety of different other groups and fractions of people to then kind of equate the progression of BLK people with the progression of people who aren't even BLK. So, for example, to elaborate, you'll see that now what you see BLK statistics being equated and grouped with Asian statistics, right? So you'll see them say black, Asian, minority ethnics, and then what they'll do is they'll progress the Asians, but not actually progress the BLK people. But then what they do is they group the statistics together, so then it looks as if there's been progression for the whole group, when in actuality they're kind of utilizing the Asians as kind of like a mulatto for BLK progression, and they're actually not progressing BLK people. They're just pretending to progress BLK people through infiltrators who have come and presented themselves as having the same struggle as if they weren't stepping stones and weren't the mulattoes. So essentially, the Asians are the new mulattoes for the BLK people. They've also interjected the alphabet people as well. So alphabet people have also been interjected into the community, where they now say, I don't care what race, what sexual orientation or ethnic background, etc. you are, and they all put them in the same group as if that these individuals are going through the same struggle. And this is why we have to be very careful of doing these things. We need to stop calling ourselves African, because Africa was named after Cyprian Africanus, a YT man. So when you're saying that I'm pro-Africa, you're saying you're pro-YT man. That's the first thing. And also, we need to be able to safeguard, set boundaries on who we are as the ethnic originals of the world, and not allowing other people to infiltrate our struggle, because what that does is it gives them a stepping stone and allows them to have other individuals that they can put at the forefront to then pretend that they're actually progressing us, when in actuality they're keeping us exactly where we are. Simple as that. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Diego. Yeah, there's a couple of things that I can agree with, and other things that I'm not quite there yet. Like, these guys know that there's some things I would not be quite there yet. So I would not be quite there yet by not using word Africa and calling us Africans. I'm not quite there. And even using the phrase black. I don't know if you refer to black, because black, of course, is a white construct. Race is a racial construct created by white man. So there's certain things that can unite us. And I think that Africanism and blackness unites us, and it's the prompt. It's why you came up. Like, when people come up into the conversation, because what else am I going to put up there right now? Like, what am I going to
Yeah,
put?
I think the struggle is we kind of we place the power of who defines us on the actual ones that are oppressing us. So we allow them to
Yeah,
define us because
I
we
agree
never
with
referred
that.
to
I agree
ourselves
with
as
that.
BLK,
But
and we
this
never
is all.
referred to
But this is
ourselves as
about
African.
the. Yeah, but this is also about how we as individuals empower ourselves internally. Like, I know you. They can't tell you nothing. No one can tell Diego nothing. No one can tell Fox nothing either. Right, and this is what it is about, is how do we identify, how do we choose, and what connects us. And I think that's a good point that you brought up, because I do want to get rid of Africa as a term. Absolutely, I do want to get rid of black as a term. I just don't think that we're quite there yet. Right, I don't think that we're quite there yet. So Enigma's got some things he wants to say as well.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to Diego's point on the Asians and how they use them in America. We call them y'all probably even heard the term model minority, and the reason why is because white people in general look at them as honorary whites. Not
Yeah.
only that, but in American history specifically, they've always fought. I mean, every ethnic group that came over here has fought to be either white or to be close into proximity to whiteness. So, when a lot of Asians were coming over here, and before they put the 1924 Immigration Ban Act, when they wanted to set up their shops, like their convenience stores and stuff, they were originally trying to do it into white neighborhoods. But white people are too smart for that, because they understand, well, if we have this Asian shop, these Asian people that we obviously don't like, if we let them set up shop in our neighborhoods, in our communities, that's going to circulate well through their communities. So instead of doing that, instead of thwarting rights to black people, we're gonna put Asian people over black people. We're gonna give them the loans and stuff that they need, and the resources, limited resources,
Yeah.
and we're gonna set them up in proximity to black people so they can make money off of them. And then the amount of anti-blackness within the Asian community, we
The
gotta
same thing they've done with the
frequently.
alphabet people. It's the same. It's the exact same thing that they've done. They've equated a variety of different issues with a different people that actually haven't predated the struggle of the BLK struggle, because they know if they progress or they get rid of the BLK struggle, their whole existence will deplete. So
Can I add
their
on to
existence is contingent
Was
upon
he
BLK
finished?
oppression. And I just also wanted to
Just
say,
please don't talk over each other, please. Here.
yeah, I
Was
also
he
wanted to say
finished
that.
or?
I also wanted to
No,
say
hold
that
on.
I'm currently in the process, and I would always advise BLK people, ethnic originals, to as difficult as it may be, is to put forth more homeschooling, because another method of how they destruct our people and how they educate our people is the education system in itself. The education system and the curriculum system was also another layer and another method of dehumanizing us and keeping us in this state and looking up as the YT man. And it's what actually the British did in every place that they went, whether it was Australia, whether it was India, wherever they went, they revamped and created the curriculum system to put forth this kind of English YT man as this superior man. And I'm also in the process of creating a agriculture community where people will be able to travel to the Caribbean and Jamaica and places like that, and learn how to farm, learn how to harvest, and learn how to kind of reap the crops. A lot of individuals don't actually know how to spot a good onion. A lot of individuals don't know how to spot a good potato. They just pick up the biggest one, or they pick up the one that's nearest to them. When they go to the market, they don't actually know how to distinguish. And this is something that our ancestors always kind of had. Our ancestors always kind of had this knowledge of what was good in terms of plantology, what was medicine, what was food. But for a lot of
Yeah.
people, they're not kind of able to distinguish the good signs on particular fruits or the negative signs. So that's another thing that I'm currently working on.
That's
Yeah.
true. Thank you for that. Okay, I'm
Now
just
I
going
was
to get the
asking
ethnic
if
background.
Khan
Just
would.
1 minute, Hanu, please. 1 minute. I'm going to ask you the ethnic background of your biological parents, please.
Me or no? I was asking if
Yes.
Khan was finished because he was cut off. I was trying
I'm
to hear
asking
what
you a
he was
question.
saying.
Hello. Can I get the ethnic background of your biological mother and father, please? Welcome to the panel.
Okay. Well, I'm a Black American, so my ethnic background is muddled.
You're not quite sure of your ethnic, but you
Right.
identify
So
as Black. Yeah.
I identify as Black.
Cool.
I am Indigenous. I'm Italian. I am Black. I'm I mean.
That's
So I'm a
okay.
Black American. So we don't. A lot
Yeah.
of us.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. And now Canon had something they wanted to add, and also Water Goddess will go after as well, and then LB also want to add
Yeah,
something else.
I'm just
Yeah.
responding to the fact that he mentioned Asians having shops in the black community. When are we going to talk about us opening our own shops in our community? Are we that
Who's talking about
behind?
it and who's doing it? Those are two different things. There are some people who are actually doing it. I don't like this whole, when are we? If this is happening, just do it. Like, I don't have that mindset. The community I come from, we've done it. We've been doing it. I have a story about my grandparents when they first came to the UK as Windrush generation. They opened a taxi company. They got their free properties. Same with my mother and father. Same with me. Stop with this if stuff. Just do it. Just do it. It
Exactly.
exists. We
I
have
agree.
black economy. It exists. All of these things already exist. You have to adjust your mindset to see that it's there and patronize our people. Connect with our
Yeah,
people.
agree.
Network us. It's there. That's it. If we
But
keep saying it's not there, then
he
it
was
makes
saying
people not spend with us. And this is something I want to bring up. And LB will have some things to also say on this front, I think, as well.
he
Is
was
that we've talked a
he was
lot about
saying how
the 1 minute canon. So we've talked, of course, a lot about, and you guys have brought up the Asian community, South Asian community, of course. In the US, it's one thing. In the UK, it's something else. I've said specifically about not doing entire boycotts of communities. Oh. I'm just going to mute you because there's some feedback there on your microphone. I'm a businesswoman. People who are business people need to understand how business works, right? I've said specifically, and I'll say this many times, boycott entire communities does not put money in your pocket. You have to play the game of the colonizer. The colonizer has never stopped us from buying things. The colonizer has made money off of our backs. You cannot boycott entire groups of community if you're talking about money and business. Yes, in principle, yeah, boycott certain, but that does not make us rich. You're supposed to then say, hey, how can I use you? How are you going to spend with me? If I turn around and said that I don't like white people and I don't do this, I would not be sitting in one of my houses right now. So one of my many houses, I used the colonizer. And now I can say boycott them. Right? Now I can say it. Because I want everybody else. That's it. Exploit them back. That's it. Exploit them back. That was what you're supposed to do. You will never create any kind of business or any kind of economic unity, which is needed for the global majority, by saying global anyone from another ethnic group. It's not going to work. It's never worked like that. Like I've just said, me, my family, my parents, my bloodline, the people, or I know, we've never had to boycott any particular race of people. We've boycotted particular shops, of course. I ain't going there. I don't buy McDonald's. Good thing is where I live, I don't have any of these things. I don't buy Starbucks. I don't go to the Indian hair shops when I go back to the UK. I don't patronize these people personally, but I don't boycott entire communities because I know, for example, I'm going to need them like they're going to need me. This is how business works. If some people just don't have a business mind, and that's why you're poor. I have to be real with it. I have to be real with it. This is why you got no money in your pocket. This is why you got no business. Because you don't understand business. It is very important you understand those elements to it as well. Very important. And I will keep saying that point over and over again until people get it. Does anyone want to add some more points to that, please?
Can I respond?
Yes, I actually.
Yeah, I actually wasn't finished with my points. So Diego got to speak quite a bit. So, but one of the main questions I wanted to ask for maybe future reference: how do you gauge? When you say black only panel, how do you gauge that within the black community, and what is accepted on a black only panel? As we have the mixed race generation, we have quarter mixed, and we have biracial people who are maybe 10% black or 20% black. So how do you gauge who comes up and who
The
doesn't?
issue is the BLK demographic is the only demographic that can be infiltrated by anyone. Anybody
Can
can
I
claim
answer
to
the
be black.
question? Because
Biracial
were you
people.
asking me, Cannon?
I
Is that who
was.
you're asking? Yeah, you're asking me. Like I asked everybody's ethnic background, right? I asked everybody what their background is. If you've not been here, you've seen me drop someone who was like half or quarter. A biracial conversation is something completely different. For me, it is if you have two black parents, and of course I can hear in the conversation as well that if you're anti-black, then this is not the space for you. So that's how I do it. You know, other people might be doing things differently, but that to me is very anti-black. So I'm black. This is a black conversation. If you come up here, you have to have both. So on that note, we're going to ask LB the ethnicity of both of your parents, please. LB?
Black. Negroid. Good morning, people.
Okay, the ethnicity, not the race, please, LB. The ethnicity.
Sorry. I am Yoruba. That's the only
Yoruba.
thing I
Thank
agree
you.
with that woman, Kemi Badenoch, and what she said. Yoruba.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we've got Lucy now as well, please. Lucy, can I have the ethnic background of both of your parents, please?
Both my parents are
Lucy?
black. Both my
Ethnicity.
parents are black. Oh,
Ethnicity.
a little bit of Haitian, a little bit of French Creole.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions? Hanu, I think you've got some things that you wanted to add and say, Hanu. Oh, Water Goddess, your voice is so tiny down there. Water Goddess.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Like,
she wanted
nice and like calm. Okay, Jacob, what are you on about when you're talking about the LGBT community?
Sorry, say that again.
What you said about the LGBT community. What do you mean by that?
What do I mean by what? What you need to clarify what you
By
heard and what you
the
understood.
I'm trying. Chill
Yes, so go
out.
ahead.
Why are you so mad? Chill.
I'm not mad. I'm
What
calm.
you?
Don't gaslight me. It doesn't work with me. Go ahead.
That's not what
Let's be
gaslighting
respectful here,
is.
please. Let's be respectful. Can we
just?
just? I didn't hear any comments about the LGBTQ plus, but could you repeat what was said, Diego? Because I didn't hear. Do you want to make?
How can I repeat
say
what I
you have
said when I don't know what she's talking about? That doesn't make sense.
Do you not
Okay,
know
Water
what you
Goddess.
said?
What is it that you heard, Water Goddess, please?
When he was talking about the conflation of like Asian people and Black people that not benefiting Black people, you also mentioned that the same thing is happening with the LGBTQ community, as if the problems of the LGBTQ community are separate from Blackness.
Okay, so that's your understanding. So I'll literally reiterate what I said. I said when we talk about the BLK struggle, that has been the longest lasting struggle ever. There has always been a deliberate, sadistic, strategic attempt to infiltrate different struggles or kind of group and equate struggles with the BLK community as if they're all the same thing. So it went from, oh, you're BLK, and now it says, I don't care if you're BLK, I don't care if you're BLK, or what race, sexual orientation, whether you're Asian, and now we have Black, Asian, minority ethnics, and everybody acts as if they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. The struggle is not the same. The struggle is not, the duration is not the same. So yeah, that was my point. Go ahead. What's your contention?
Well, it's not true, right? Everything that white supremacy, what we live under, this.
Wait,
this
what's not
system
true?
of-
What's not
I'm
true?
literally explaining.
Let her
Why
finish.
you-
Let her finish, Diego.
interrupt
Let
me?
her finish. Go on, Water Goddess.
Everything that they have done to us, the suppression of the gender expression, sexuality, just the freedom to live outside of the confinement of the homogeny that white supremacy dictates, they did that to themselves first, and then they spread that out. Racism is not the oldest structure of oppression that there
I
is.
think what I'm
What are you
trying to
talking
understand
about?
from the conversation. 1 minute. I think what this conversation is conflating different struggles and putting them together with the struggle of blackness. This is understanding intersectionality. Like we're very aware that we are also gay, we are also lesbian, we are also all of these things. But when they try to say that the gay struggle and the struggle of homosexuals is the same as the black struggle, that's where the problem is. And I think that's what Diego is getting at. Like he said with the Asian community, it's not the same struggle. We all have struggles, they're just not equally the same. That's what I'm hearing. Is that what you're saying, Diego? Because that's what I'm hearing. They're just not the same things.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're struggles in their own right. Yeah, does that make sense, Water Goddess?
Yes, but
yeah, so it's just understanding
the confusion then, if that
intersectionality
makes sense?
is that we're always going to have people in obviously all of our different groups, but if we're talking about the black struggle specifically,
And this is
of
why the
course it is
BLM thing
something
was a joke thing. This is why the
it's
BLM thing.
very
Talks, we're still talking.
yeah. Thank you, Water Goddess. Thank you. Yeah, it's just basically how we understand, like when we're talking about, like it came from healthcare, we were talking about where Diego was coming from, right? It is exactly as he said. If you're saying that brown struggles are exactly the same and they've got the same, you know, ethnic, if they've got the same DNA or the same genetics, if they're using any healthcare results that actually are for them and not for us, then of course we end up being disenfranchised again, and we don't get being heard again. And I think I'm just hearing just a little bit of confusion about why sort of LGBTQIA community was pulled into this, because we were talking about healthcare, and I think that's maybe where we might have to just understand why we would also bring that in as well. Hanu Mama's got something that she wants to say as well, please. Hanu.
Hi, good morning. Well, I'm not sure where
Hiya.
everybody else, but so I had a little bit of a there was a little bit of a pinch for me from a statement someone else made, and I need some clarity. Are we doing purity tests by in identifying who's black and who's not on this panel? Is that what, like, the qualifications of being black is going to be a blood quantum? Like, what's happening?
It's a good
It's
question.
whoever chooses to identify. Like I say, first of all, it's ethnicity, because then you can just tell who's the black parent. But then if you are anti-black, this is also not your space. So it's mindset as well.
Right. So if you have a black
Yeah.
parent, that doesn't speak to ethnicity. If both of your parents are biracial, then what happens on this panel?
You're
Then
disqualified.
I hold. Diego, can I talk? Diego, please stop interrupting me. I've literally said I hold biracial panels separately to this. Like separately. I have white panels, I have purely white only panels, I have biracial panels, and I have black only panels. And this is a black only conversation today.
Okay. So I just wanted to clarify what kind of space I was in, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
because that is something that kind of, I'm not going to call it separation as far as from your perspective, but the differentiation is used as separation here under the FBA. That's fundamental, foundational Black American. That is a movement, quote unquote, that we have going in the United States right now. And it's literally to separate Black people from other Black people. And it's so I just wanted to, I think I asked you about this yesterday, if y'all had something like that in the UK. But it's become a thing where some of us that are Black people trying to uplift the community, kind of collectively, it's giving government intervention
Yeah.
under
We did mention this a
blackface.
little bit. Yeah, maybe you missed this part because we talked about this actually. It was one of the first things we brought up was the
Yeah,
FBA.
I just came in.
And
Yeah.
that it was, yeah, we talked about this, about how it was definitely, of course, a colonizer's idea. And honestly, anybody is welcome here. Like I say, but the main thing is if you identify as black, but if you have anti-blackness, then that's the problem. I'm very much
Right.
on the surface level when it comes to this kind of stuff. And that's why I say to people, I don't need to know where your great grandparents got blah blah blah. It is just your ideology and your mindset, because I'm about unity, right? That's where I'm at. It's like, okay, the superficial thing is the skin color, very superficially. right? If you see someone who looks like you, okay, we look similar. Now let's talk about our mindset. Now let's talk about our beliefs. Now let's talk about our ideology. And if it's not resonating, then it's not the space for you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I'm
I
at.
just wanted clarity on that. Oh, a second thing,
Yeah.
really quickly. You said you mentioned this yesterday about not boycotting Asian business.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lot of people are using the word boycotting, but I think, well, I don't know if you remember, I was saying that we
Yeah,
are
I do.
redirecting our money. We're like,
Yes.
if a lot of people
That's
use boycott
important.
because it's language, right? But it's not a boycott. What we're doing in the United States is we are, because we own there's black industry here, lots of it. We just don't
Yes.
tap into it like we need to in order to lift it to the same levels or even higher levels than other ethnicities or racial groups within our communities that have been literally strategically placed into our communities. So we have black owned beauty supply stores. We have black owned nail shops. I've been doing
Yes.
black business from my hair follicles, my wax it down to my damn toenails for years. But black people are not aware how much we actually have. So when I don't like the word boycott,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
I will
redirection.
boycott. Yeah, thank you. I love that you said that. Thank you, Hanu. That is very, very important. Like I said, I will boycott Starbucks. I will boycott the corporations, McDonald's, etc. Read. This is the whole point, and this is what was missed in the UK conversation. There was, from what I saw, and LB, you can correct me because you were more on that side. I didn't see enough conversation about the redirection with black money. It was just like, stop spending Asian. I'm like, okay, what happens next then? Where's the next part? It's supposed to come back. And I had to say, you have to redirect it back in the black community then. And then you have to start your businesses. Like when Canon said earlier, well, where's the businesses are there. You're not seeing it. So you have to have the full conversation when it turns up around these things. LB, do you want to have some
And
things
we
to
need
add?
to, and one more thing, I'm sorry. What we also
Yeah.
need, those of us that own businesses, we also need to understand that everyone is not business minded and everyone is
Yes.
not supposed to
Thank
run a
you.
business. We need to be employing our own as well.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you. LB.
Uh, yeah, you know what? I hit a wall when with that dialogue. That dialogue ran for a very long time. And in the beginning, I was because you know me, head first. I'm like, yeah, we're boycotting because I grew up in a place called Peckham, South London, and
Yeah, the epicenter of the
the
stuff.
epicenter, the epicenter, the root. Um, and I grew up seeing black businesses. I didn't grow up to this, oh, black people are lazy, black people. I saw a lot of black businesses. I saw them afflicted by racism. I saw them shut down. For example, Yinka Bodyline was a black business that sold cosmetics, one of the first cosmetics, if not the first cosmetics on top of my lane.
LB,
And
are you still on holiday, LB?
no,
You're a
no.
little muffled, LB. I'm having a hard
Yeah,
time understanding you.
Can you hear
I'm
me?
sorry.
Oh no.
yeah,
Hold on one second. What's going on my phone? Why? Can you hear me?
Oh, that's better. That's better.
That's better. Okay. Okay. So yeah, she was one of the first ones to open a cosmetic beauty store on Peckham Rye Lane. And she was caught selling the same thing these Asian shops are selling now, bleaching cream, standard. Like I said, I went to Singapore and everything I saw in their cosmetic shops was brightening, whitening, lightening. So even the vim that comes towards black women needs to slow down because the whole world is bleaching. If you don't know, there's white and black and everyone else is trying to be white. That's what I'm saying. But yes, back to Yinka Bodyline. They closed her down because she had a bleaching cream. The same bleaching cream these Asian shops had. And then you had the Peckham Strangler. You come into our neighborhoods after black people have built it up. We're currently facing gentrification, which is in a slow form, a backhanded way of another form of colonization. Because
yeah.
you create the hood. I mean, we don't have the exact same system as redlining in America, but we do have a system where they created the hood. It's orchestrated oppression. We're all there, you build it, you finally come out of it, and now it's hippie central. right? And then these businesses and other minorities come and start their businesses and start treating black people bad. I'm not going to stand for that. So of course, if I see that, my first response is going to be, I might not like the word boycott, but my first response is that I'm not shopping there. You're not getting my money. You're not getting a lick of it. You're not getting a lick of it. And that's just what that is. But what was the point? Yeah, the point was, it then, what now? What's the solution, right? Because it's not that black people are not opening businesses. The problem is they are. Some black people are opening businesses and they're not treating black customers right, even though they're black. You know, some black businesses are opening and they're calling themselves Afro-Caribbean hair salon, but they don't know how to handle Afro hair. So what's the solution? So like I said, I hit a wall when it came to what now, and I wasn't hearing enough conversation around that. So I kind of had to just go and do my own research. So yeah.
Exactly, and that was the problem, and that's why I never. That's why I could not co-sign
it. Was just a
it,
trend,
it
man.
was
Let's just say it as it is. It was just a trend. That's all it was.
Yeah,
people
it was
on this app, they just go with what the trend is. They go with where the numbers are getting in the rooms, and everybody just wanted to pretend that they cared about the BLK struggle and boycotting Asians. No, they just cared about being in the rooms where the current contemporary topic was being discussed, and at that particular point, it was, let's boycott, South Asians, even though they still go to, well, not the South Asians, but they still go to the Chinese man to get their nails. The man then was still going to the chicken and chip shops to get their chicken and chips. Like, nobody was boycotting. It was just something that people were pretending to do on the app. And this is the difficulty, is that a lot of people, they talk a lot, but they don't materialize anything in real life. They sit on the app and talk about it, but then when it comes about actual progression, that's when you actually think, or when you see that, like, for example, when somebody says, oh, well, what is BLK? And then everything goes quiet and there's the disagreement. Or what are we doing? What are the solutions to the problem? Everybody can sit down and talk about the problem for days and weeks and months and centuries. But then when you talk about the solutions, that's where it goes quiet. And that's why I had to take a break, because I had to start materializing things in real life.
That's the whole point. Yeah, that's the whole point of this conversation, is, like I say, and like Cannon said earlier, if you were there, he was like, where? And I said, no, they are there. And that's why I talked about exhibitions last week, actually. I talked about, let me find, there's an exhibition, and I'll bring this one up actually again, because I am going to start talking about more black promotion and more black business. This is definitely, actually I did mention, let me talk about this other one. There is a black business conference, if those of you know or don't know, because even if you don't have business right now, or you want a business, if you feel inspired by this conversation, which you should be as a black person, let me just Google it real quick. It is literally a black business conference. Hold on, let me find it. Because I mentioned about the Jamaican conference, which runs every 2 years, but it's a biennial one, which has just gone. So there is the UK Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference, okay? Let me get you the date for this. This is in July, I think. Hold on. Is it July? 2026. Yeah, let's click it. And I'll get you the date. So again, if you want to be inspired or you want to connect with more black businesses, 8th of July, guys. Right, let me get you this on the screen. It's in central London. The location is TBC at the moment, but hold on. Let me get this. And the tickets are on Eventbrite. So do a little bit more research, because it has been running for the last 2 years, because I've checked them out, okay? Oh, no, it is there. It's in Bishopsgate. So, it says 8th of July. Is it 2 days? Yeah, let me turn this around so you guys can see. So those of you who are in London or can make it to London, please attend, sorry, my microphone, the UK Black Business Entrepreneurs Conference of 2026. 250 Bishopsgate, London, Wednesday, 8th of July, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, okay? And it's 8 hours. This is exactly where it is. And like I say, I've seen them running for at least 2 years. I don't know how many more years before them, but they are also on Instagram and also on TikTok, okay? So no more, please, of this conversation. What are we doing? What's next? What's happening? There's a lot of us who have been doing, like I keep saying. We're actually doing. We're not talking. We're actually doing. And the black business part is very key. The black pound as well, right? Trends, like you brought up, Diego, trends. These things happen sometimes. They're trends. But how do you mobilize and how do you move? Because I remember the Black Pound 2020. It was exciting. It was like, yeah, let's do that again. Let's spend in the black community. And what happens? It fizzles out again. But we're supposed to be changing people's mindsets continuously so we don't forget, We don't forget. Yeah, it did work. But again, we've got back into the conversation though, LB, to be like, well, where's the money? Where is it? Something keeps happening. Yeah, the lack of consistency. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also as well where my struggle was coming with that whole nonsense, because when I was literally doing live saying it's just a trend, and people were coming up, they were saying Diego Maroon the raccoon, you're not supporting BOK people and da 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 da. We have to also, as BOK people, hold ourselves accountable. BOK people do come into contact with a lot of money a lot of the time, whether that's they inherit it through wealth, whether that's through wealth passed down, whether they inherit land, they come into contact with money, but they are very financially immature because we've been financially suppressed for so long. When we actually come into contact with wealth, we don't know what to do with it, and our initial response is basically to buy a big whip or buy a big chain or buy the latest drip or buy this or buy that, and we don't actually know how to invest the money. But there wasn't that level of accountability. There was just this whole Asians are to blame for the struggle that we're in and we're boycotting Asians. It's nonsense. The reality of it is that we have always had this kind of inferiority complex that has been embedded within our psyche, and we feel it's necessary to always show that we have wealth rather than having wealth and not having to show that we have wealth, essentially.
Yeah, maybe this is I mean, Nate's relating to what you're saying, but I can't relate to this like at all. And then when I was doing my lives as well, Diego, I was like, is this a London thing? Is this a male thing? Because I honestly think it is. And when I was talking about people outside of London, there didn't seem to be that much division from my conversations regarding the Black and Asian community. Like I just couldn't see it.
I'm not talking about division.
Many lives.
No, I'm not talking about division. What I'm saying is,
yeah, but even that, yeah, like when you say about the whips and the chains and stuff like that, okay, but I also don't punish Black and brown people for doing that either. Like,
no,
we
let me
need
be
some
clear
nice
with what I'm
stuff.
saying, because I think you're misinterpreting my point. What I'm saying is, there is nothing wrong with liking or buying nice things, but what I'm saying is, BOK people see it as a necessity to show that they are no longer the slave that they have constantly been taught that they are. Remember, you're learning that you're a slave from you're in school, primary school, secondary school. You're constantly, throughout the perpetuation in the media, you're always learning that you're this slave, right? You're always learning that you're this inferior being, whether that's you've been taught to hate your hair, the color of your skin, your phenotype, etc. So when you come into contact with some form of wealth, as a BOK person, if you're not aware of who your identity or what your identity is, are going to feel it necessary to buy the Mercedes Benz. This is why, especially in America, BOK people own more Mercedes than YT America, even though YT America has 3 times more wealth than being BOK people. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a constant approach for BOK people, if they don't understand who they are, to show off this wealth rather than actually having, generational wealth. Or having land or equity or investment. It's always, I need to buy the latest drip, I need to buy the latest Jordans, I need to buy the latest Mercedes, and we feel like that's a sign of wealth, and then we'll drive down to the same areas that we grew up in and style on the people that are our own people. And second point is, when people are talking about BOK businesses don't treat BOK people well, we seem to have this unrealistic expectation from BOK people, which we don't have from any other European business. So when we go to the Argentinian cuisine, which are one of the most racist empire ever, or the French cuisine or the Italian cuisine, we know that they don't like BOK people, but we somehow seem proud to be in their venues and proud to be snapping and Instagramming the Italian cuisine, spaghetti bolognese or calamari or whatever.
Should we talk,
but then when we go to the BOK business, I'll just land here.
Diego. No, I'm gonna interrupt you, Diego. I'm gonna interrupt you because sometimes you do go on a monologue. I'm just gonna say.
I know. Well, that's why you invited me on stage. That's why you invited me.
It's not a stage. It's a panel where everyone gets to share it.
The
Diego.
panel then. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a panel, right? I want to know more about solutions. Okay, like that's what I'm trying to get. When it comes to unity, I want to talk about the things that we can do, rather than say, "Well, Black people do this," and Black. That's not where I'm coming from, Diego. Like I've said, there's a Black business conference. So, there's that. And if you've got diabetes, like this is how you check yourself. Like I want to talk about those things, right? I feel like we need to move as Black people away from the conversations about the things that divide us and the way that we can be anti-Black, right? Like, I think a lot of us, especially on TikTok, especially in this land, we're quite aware of that. So we need more solutions, and we're trying to give that information to everybody
This is
else.
a
So that's
solution.
good. So that's good. Yeah, that's good that you brought up the generational wealth. Let's pick up on that point, right? The generational wealth is very, 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 very important to bring up. Like massively important. So that's where I can definitely see where you're coming from. If black and brown people are more focused on buying the whips and the chains, how you phrase it, right? Then what are you actually doing for your children? What are you doing for your community? It's very important. I know it might feel like, well, why is it my responsibility? Because I've even gone for that mindset myself. When I was making money, I was like, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to travel. I'm going to do all these things more because I feel like I'm being restricted and I want to have freedom. That's literally how I felt. And then when it came down to it, I like suddenly woke up and was like, no, actually, I'm supposed to be creating a legacy for my niece and nephew. That's actually where I'm supposed to be going. And like I said earlier, I have done certain things in Nigeria with my family abroad, and I've done things in Mali that I'm trying to do. But now I'm more in that mind, so even more to be like, right, okay, how am I going to redistribute? How am I going to help? And like it says, it might feel shitty, because you kind of look around, and especially as us being black people right on this end of the spectrum and white being on the other end, you look at them and think, well, why do they have to do it? Are they doing generational wealth? No, they're not actually. A lot of them aren't doing it either, but that's how they're going extinct. And if you think you're pro-black, right, and you want to help us as people, you have to do more socialism and really redistribute that wealth, which again is like what we've been talking about, right? Is about spending in the black community, redirecting, as Hanny Manama said very rightly so, and I really like the way that she put it as well, was redirecting your wealth. Be more conscious about the things that
But
you're
you're
doing.
kind of contradicting yourself.
Are you being, I don't think I am.
I'll explain why.
I don't think you are either. Is it? Can I?
I think because you're saying we need to redirect money into our community. Well, as I've said, there is also a financial illiteracy aspect that we need to be accountable for. So whenever BLK people are told to be held accountable, they don't like to do that. They want to put 100% of blame on everybody else.
But Diego, again, you're doing Diego, you're doing the negative stuff. Right, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Sometimes it's necessary.
Is you'll do it, but to who? To who? Nobody here is negative.
Why is it necessary? Why?
Because we don't
nobody.
listen.
Diego, nobody here is negative.
You know what?
Okay?
I'm gonna leave you to it. Next time you invite me up, at least allow me to speak. Don't just invite me up.
Okay, Diego, we're done here. We're done here. Thank you so much, Diego. We're done. Of course, you'll drop, which is a shame because I've never had to drop anyone before, right? I've never had to drop. This is 3 weeks now, and I've never had to drop a single person. It had to be Diego. Diego, man, like you're not understanding where we're coming from. Yeah, Hannah, you can ask him from the comment section. But I'm all about positive and moving forward. Yeah.
Okay. What was bothering me, and I sure hate to talk about this brother while he ain't up here, but it is what it is. What was bothering me was the smoke, because I'm the only person on the panel that's a Black American. The smoke for Black America was reeking. He talked about BLM. He talked about Black people owning more Mercedes than white people. Where are you getting those stats from? That shit ain't true. Second of all, BLM wasn't about specifically Black business. It was about brutality against Black people and Black lives specifically, literally mattering, as well as other people's lives. And under BLM, we were able to get some of the greatest convictions towards Black brutality against Black people, murders of us in the streets by law enforcement and white communities. So BLM was definitely a movement that was important. Second of all,
massively,
when we're talking about Black business here in the United States, regardless of how much they have tried to snuff out Black business, we have still remained strong here.
Ashe, sister.
And so what is happening here, this is a solution, brother. Since, we need to be in solution minded. What has happened here is there is a company here, a Black owned company that's created an electric car. You want to talk about cars? We have that here. We want to talk about Black industry. Black American culture has been pushed out to the world all over, and Black American culture
Yes.
is being replicated, and it is being spread, and it gets watered down from community to community or what have you. But what we're not going to do while I'm on this panel is continue to beat down on Black America as if we are just these ghetto hood rats with a bunch of baby daddies and no fucking money that we're not using amongst each other. We are doing it. And we are getting stronger with that message by the day. And so there was a person in the chat speaking to solutions. There was a person in the chat that said that we need to have one online source for Black businesses. We have it in the United States. We have a resource called Buy Black. I don't know what everybody else in their prospective
The
countries
app. It's
has,
an
but we
app,
have
right?
that. Yeah, it's an app. We have
Yeah,
online
yeah.
web.
I
We
installed that a
have
few years ago.
we have Black owned braiding hair that I order. We have Black woman owned hair care products. Black hair industry is huge. That's one of the ways that Asians have been able to come here and make billions of dollars. They made it $1 billion industry with us buying their products. So the solution is the redirection. And if he don't like the word redirection, I don't know what else to call it. So
Yeah, thank you.
we have Black Business
Yeah.
Week in various cities and states. We have Juneteenth celebrations where you can go and buy from Black
Yes.
vendors. We have Black Entrepreneur Week and month. We have all kind of shit going on over here. So I don't know
Yes.
what the smoke is. Excuse me, I'm gonna bring it down because he pissed me off repeatedly
It's
coming
okay,
for Black
sister. It's
America.
okay.
Like, I don't
Go
know
for it.
what the fuck other people in other countries, if you are still in the mindset that Black Americans are just walking around with fucking gold teeth and gold chains and riding around in Mercedes and we can't keep our lights on, that is no longer where we're at. Before the civil rights movement, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, before the civil rights movement and the 1964 Civil Rights Bill and the 1965 Voting Rights Act in the United States, Black America was at over 50% of poverty level. Now we're at 17. So clearly we're on the right trajectory. Now it's about redirection and focus on us. Fuck out of
Thank you,
here.
Honey
We own
Malou.
way
Thank
more.
you.
Yeah, get out of here. Sorry,
I
go
really
on, y'all.
appreciate you saying no, no apologies. Honestly, I really appreciate you saying that too, because this is why I don't believe in the division. Like I have the ability to say, I don't know if I'm a unique person. I don't know. Maybe because I always, like I said earlier, maybe you weren't hearing this part. I talked about the influence as well of Black Americans and African Americans and where that came from. Like we've literally seen a lot of influence. Like, and if people deny that, to me that's wild. BLM, I think, is a great point to pick up again with that. The only reason why BLM was so massive was because of Black Americans and African Americans. And the fact in 2020, we had no choice but to see how much police brutality there was in America at that time. It was horrific. I spent so much time crying during that time, so much time. And then it made Black people in the UK reflect upon our own police brutality, because while they're not particularly unaliving us in the street, they're still doing it inside the prisons with unlawful arrests. And this is people that people still don't seem to understand and recognize this too. There are a few people that they do mention. They mentioned Smiley Culture, Chris Cabba, we had riots, we had Mark Duggan riots as well. We had those things. But again, it is whether Black people in the UK still keep suffering with some
Smiley
kinds
Culture?
of he was a music artist, and he
Okay,
actually
thank
had the
you.
police coming into his home, and the police killed him in his own home. So you know these things happen, and of course I have Eve Sakila here on my panel, my prompt here, which my username is also about Eve Sakila, which is a Congolese man who was killed in Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland. You know, and I have said this too. I'm also equally critical of the Black British community and Black British activism. I think offline it is quite good. Online, I think it sucks. I think it is very bad online. I don't think that we do enough. I like I said in the beginning, I don't go to many other people's spaces because I'm not hearing enough pro-blackness. I'm not hearing solutions. I'm not hearing recommendations of things that we're supposed to be doing and where we're supposed to be going. So I'm like, I need to create the fucking space, don't I? Like I
I
have to
need
do
to
that and to be able
know.
to bring everyone together.
I need to know how
Honey,
many
yeah.
how many financial literacy classes he's running in his community. While you're talking about black people not having financial literacy, well, what the fuck? Why the fuck aren't you running a workshop yourself?
Yeah.
You can
This
certainly
is
do that
it.
yourself.
This is it.
Like,
Solutions, action. Don't like come here and say, well, so and so, this is not happening. We're not doing that. What are you doing? What are you doing? And if you're playing into the negative, then to me, that is very much like what the white man wants. It is about what the white man wants. So Nate's got some things that he wants to add as well, please. Nate, you were
Yeah,
patient. Well done.
it was hard. It was hard. But yeah,
You're like, oh, go on, dude.
I'd
Go on.
like to go back to the food argument because I've recently started like getting taken interest in plants and mainly food.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sister mentioned about there's black owned businesses like beauty businesses. Well, for those that don't know, if you buy an aloe vera plant, yeah, you can actually use the leaves, the mature leaves of the aloe vera plant, and you can actually use that as cream for your skin. You can use it
Yeah,
as oil for
I
your
do.
hair. Yeah, like there's many things that you can do with the plant. Also, in terms of growing food, like I am aware that it is difficult to get allotments. However, there's ways around it. Yeah, because you can go and find like your local. What are they called again? Because I'm actually a part of one and I forgot what it's called. But basically, you
is
can
it a
volunteer.
co-op?
You can volunteer like in the allotments. Yeah, it's like a community allotment, and you can volunteer. They grow their food. Like for instance, you can grow like what is the tropical plant we're growing? We've got bananas there, but they won't bear just because of the intensity of the light. But you can grow tropical plants. For instance, I've got a Mexican lime tree on my balcony, and it won't
Ooh,
it won't
nice.
bear it won't bear until like probably like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like it takes patience, and this is why I would say to join up to a local community because a lot of the work it is hard work. So you can't just think, oh, plant a seed and then tomorrow it's gonna give me this. No, you have to have patience. Yeah, and it's
I
a
like
it's a
that.
thing where
I like
it's a
that you've
thing where if
mentioned about the community part as well. Like doing allotments is a great way to meet people. What do you think
it is.
about? Do you see a lot of black people in those spaces doing the same thing?
Unfortunately, where I am, I've only seen one black brother doing his thing. Yeah. So this is why I'm encouraging a lot of you guys because I'm hearing a lot of people saying they want to eat healthy, they want local
Yeah.
honey and all of these things. Well, go to your local allotment, innit? Go because there's groups. I think they're called produce markets. Yeah, you can just go to a local produce market and basically just volunteer. Yeah, they'll give you like the place where I am, they give you like stuff because you volunteered. You come home with
Yeah.
like crates of stuff. Some of the stuff I can't even finish. I have to give it away. Yeah. Like
So
and
I
and
like
it's
the fact that you're very active. I'm just going to bring up Diego in the comment section. Diego, you said you're creating. We would like to know when it's created, so people can actually move and actually do something. Because Nate's doing right now. We're doing so. It's about things that are actually active and happening right now, and then hopefully you can talk about when it's done.
Do
Yeah.
y'all have
Sorry to.
black owned farms? We have black owned farms here. We have we have community farms. We have community gardens. We have you'll find in a lot of communities community libraries, even like where you can literally walk past someone's house and they have a protected bookshelf. We have where you can just take books and you go, you in exchange, what I mean, within the community. We call what the brother is talking about, we call it a co-op. where you couple together with someone with other communities or families, and you're growing food together. You may be it's a bunch of things. Like you may be growing food, you may be exchanging clothing, so that you're not constantly in the cycle of buying clothing. Just a bunch of different, we have all kind of stuff like that going on in the US. Obviously it's not a utopia over here.
Yeah.
But black people, if we don't know one thing, we know for sure that white society is always going to try to infiltrate us, and we have to be more communal. We have always been more communal. There's this new thing, not a new thing, but there's this thing where they talk about a nuclear family here in the United States, and how black people, they try to degrade us by saying that we don't do the nuclear family thing. Well, a nuclear family is like the mom and the dad, 2.5 kids and maybe a dog or some shit like that. But black people don't do that. We are more communal. We are a village. We raise our children together, we educate together, and and it used to be like in the 80s, the 99s, and the 2000s. We have more community resources, as far as like community centers and stuff like that, where our children will be taught by people that look like us. And so it's a bunch of things that we have to be able to collaborate with each other, and we are.
Most definitely. In the
Also,
comment section regarding your thing, Hanu, about the farms, Goldie has said yes, there are UK farms, black farms, which is great. Nate, are you aware of these?
Yeah, I am. I am aware because when was it? I think this was like early 2000s. There was a black farmer, and he wanted to get people from disadvantaged communities, such as inner London, to try and get into the farming. I forgot his name. He's a well-known farmer as well, and he's got.
Shall I look him up? Shall I try and find his
Some
name?
of the
Yeah.
some of the products that he sells, I think they're actually labelled the black farmer, if in some of the supermarkets. If you look him up, I don't know his name, but if you say the
he's
name, I
got
probably
the
might
black.
remember.
Yeah, the Black Farmer is a celebration of British farming with a twist. Authentic, high quality meats and baked goods with bold Caribbean flair. Is that right?
That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah.
That sounds
okay.
wonderful.
I'm going to show it to the
Also,
people.
Also, I'm a Londoner based in Birmingham, and the voluntary allotment that I go to is called Salop Drive. So if you're in Smethwick, if you're in the area of Smethwick, like type in Salop Drive, and then you will basically see that there's an allotment there. You come down and volunteer, even if you 1 or 2 hours. Yeah, like let's just dominate this thing until we can get our own allotment.
Look at that beautiful black man.
Look at this. This is so
mean,
beautiful. This is solutions. This is
the man,
business
'cause I actually remember.
recommendations.
have any of you
remember
ever
he did a
lived in the
documentary.
US?
No.
Yes, guys, look up this
Look
man.
at this, it's
Also, there's a
stunning.
guy on TikTok. There's a guy on TikTok based in London called Magic Nectar. Yeah.
Oh, Mimi is saying something like that. Oh, sorry, but Black Farmer is no friend to us. Oh, no. What's the
I
negative?
didn't like to
Mimi,
hear
if
that.
you're... Yeah, I always get disappointed when that happens. Oh, he's a Tory. Oh, no, he's a Tory and he's been very anti-black, sadly. Oh, that's so
What's a
disappointing.
Tory?
It's a
man.
Conservative, like you're Republican.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Damn.
I've got a guy that's not into all of the
Like the
politics,
UK
and
MAGA.
he is very black orientated. Yeah, he's based
Who's
in
that?
London. Magic Nectar. Just go on Google. I mean, not
Magic
Google.
Nectar.
Sorry, go on TikTok. Type in TikTok Magic Nectar. He's got like a Rastaman kind of picture on there. Yeah, he welcomes you to come down. He even got a tree initiative. So you come down, you plant your own tree, and like basically, he's basically saying, put more trees into the world because we need trees. They're cutting down trees, innit?
Yeah.
And you can use the trees as memorials for somebody who's passed. But it's basically like he wants you to plant fruit trees, yeah, and you can reap most of the yield from it. Not that you're gonna eat all the yield, because like when you're growing these things, you can produce a lot. Yeah, it's not gonna be just for you when you're producing these things, and this is why we need to get together, because it is hard work. Have you found him?
Have I got the right person? With a K, alkaline water, sugar free. No, it's not the same person, is it? Is it the same person?
I have to
No,
see
with
it.
a K, magic.
Magic
Hold on,
nectar.
let me show you. I
I
don't think
think
this
it
is it.
is.
Is it this guy? Let's see. I can't see because I don't really have a picture. Let's see. Is this it?
Yeah, that looks similar. I think that is it. Yeah, it is. It
That's
is.
the
It
one.
is. It is.
Oh yeah, they've got
That's the
some
one.
growing things over here. Pumpkin. Is this the person? Oh no, this is
That's the person,
someone. Is that the guy? Oh okay.
and that's one of the guys that he works with, and he welcomes the help because he's got a big plot of land. Yeah, farming isn't an
super.
easy job, and
Yeah,
he
Maple
basically
Cross, guys. Maple Cross. See, this is the thing. When we do these diaspora conversations, I want to make sure. And actually, it's a shame that Mikey's not here. Mikey 963, I think his name is. He talks about what he's doing in the Midlands and up to Northampton, Nottingham, because a lot of this conversation we find is around London, and you know, it's of course London is of course the biggest hub of where black people are in the UK, but for those people who like myself grew up outside of London, sometimes we find ourselves a bit lost. You know, we're just like, where's our black businesses, where is our you know, black community or anything like that. But on that note, I'm also going to talk about black curriculum and education. And then I'm going to finish the live because my battery is getting low. So for those of you in the UK, and somebody else brought this up earlier about homeschooling of children, it's very important. If you live in the UK or even in the US as well, you need to educate your own children on black history. It needs to be done. If you are trusting your white governments to refine you to 1 month of the year, October or February, if you're in the US or UK, it's not good enough. You need to educate yourself. I use this platform to educate myself as somebody who grew up in the system. Only in the last 2 years have I been learning about real, true black history, and I'm 42 now, 43 this year. Take it upon yourself. There's an organisation called the Black Curriculum, which are absolutely brilliant. They are fantastic. Okay, let me show you what they do. So let me just make sure we've got all the pop-ups off and get rid of the cookies. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Decline. Okay. So let me show you the Black Curriculum. I think they've been running for, I can't remember how long, maybe since 2020 as well, or maybe before then, I can't remember. But this is the Black Curriculum. They are an international institute leading repertory justice by reimagining black history, arts and culture across education and society. So you can book their training and you also have access to their resources. Okay, so this is very, 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 very key. You have access to
Is it not
their
ironic
resources.
that that's a picture full of white people?
There's two black people there.
Well, look at right in the middle.
yeah, they're the centre focus.
I know.
All I saw was that blonde hair.
The centre focus of
It's
everything.
true. It's true. Unfortunately, in an 87% white country, you are going to have some white faces in there. But this is the whole point as well, is they are literally telling the real black history, because it has to be up to black people to teach the history because it is so whitewashed, right? So I think that's probably why they're doing that too. It's like, we have to teach the white people because the white people ain't going to tell themselves the truth. So we're going to tell them as underneath the black curriculum. Yeah,
I just thought that was
Mimi's here,
super ironic and funny.
Yeah. Mimi, you got some things you want to add on this point? Mimi?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I've been running around. I've just got my car back after 6 weeks of it being with the insurance company. So I've got so much stuff to do. But it's back, thank God. Yeah, so I also, in the many hats that I wear, I'm an SEN mum, and I also run an SEN group for black parents specifically. And also, I also have a Saturday school. So we're a black Saturday school, and it's one of our last 2 weeks as well, actually. So we're celebrating with the kids. For them even turning up is an achievement. And I just want to agree that it's so important. One of the things that we've spoken about when I've been listening in is the diaspora wars. The best way for us to counter that, going back into the Caribbean tradition, when we came over, they put us in educationally subnormal schools. A lot of our parents or grandparents were told that they weren't able, which was far from the case. Many had neurodivergence, which was undiagnosed still to this day. And many also just through sheer racism. So one of the best things that I think happened with our education is we took it in-house. We did go to school, but we also on Saturday mornings we had to get up and go to Saturday school, and that's where we learnt the majority of our Black history. And I urge this a lot because once a month we specifically do a lot of Black history with we do it in everything we do. So I was laughing about the image because any image I have has to be Black. I don't countenance anything that's like blackety black. That's my motto.
Yeah.
So I'm laughing along with the lady who just said that as well, because I agree. Because children need to see what they can be, and they need to see it in themselves as well. So I agree with that. But again, it's a good way for us to impart our knowledge, our traditions. Our Saturday school tends to be more, it's a mixture of African and Caribbean. So what we do is exchange the history a lot. But it's also a way to make sure that we monitor and check with our parents that they're checking in with their children's education. If you can't attend a parents' evening, that's fair. You might be working, but have you booked a meeting with your head of learning to check on your progress of your child? We talk about the subtleties of the unspoken rules and etiquette in British education system. If they don't see you, they don't believe that you exist and they don't care about your child. And if your child's encountering problems, we want to work with them to ask what's going on in the classroom. How is this being communicated to the child? If the child is neurodivergent, which a lot of our children tend to be undiagnosed, rather than going down the behavioural route, are we going through the supportive HCP and a diagnosis as well? So I just wanted to come up and say that it's hugely important that you do not abdicate your responsibility as a Black parent to the state. Yes, you've got GCSEs, yes, you've got a national curriculum, but you also need to counter a lot of our YT teachers, particularly with this gentrification. They're coming in from the sheers and the valleys, and they're not used to dealing with Black
terrible
people. And they're not used to dealing with Black children. So even I've had to have a few conversations where I've pulled up a few of the teachers, and I've also been a governor, although I've just stepped down recently from one school now because I've just got too much going on. I need us to also be governors, go into schools. I've had to challenge a few of my schools and say, you've not got any SLT that are Black, senior leadership team, and you've not got any Black teachers. You've got TAs, but you don't have any Black teachers. And if Black teachers are not applying to the school, I know damn well there's a problem with your school.
That's
because
right.
Teachers chat. They chat a lot. And so if you're not getting any applications from Black people, that tells me that your school is racist as F and there's an issue. So one of the things I look for when I go into as a governor is how is it being dealt with? You can be a governor on certain things. It might be to do with, they call it a link governor. So you get given a particular area of interest. I will always go and make sure that with disciplinaries and stuff, I'm looking at what they're doing with their own staff, and also with the young people as well. Are our young people featuring more in the disciplinary areas rather than the supportive areas? And if so, what can we do to change that? So yeah, you need to be so active. And it's not a matter whether or not you've got children in the school. It's about if you've got the capability. People always want to tell me that they haven't got time. I don't have time. I literally do not always have time, but I have to make time because I don't have the time to deal with things when they don't go to plan either. So that was what I came up for.
Absolutely. I'm going to pick up on your thing about the school governors, because I've talked about this. Maybe I talked about this maybe a year or two ago, is that please try, as a Black or brown person, be a governor at your school, especially if you have children. My dad was a school governor as well. And because my dad was a school governor, they actually managed to get me a better education. Really and truly, they realized the discrimination that lived in these predominantly white schools, and they made sure that I actually got put up a year. Some of you guys know this. I was put up a year because I was too advanced, and my sisters as well got better grades because of this. He kept advocating for us inside the school. If you, as a Black and brown person, with the inherent knowledge that you have from your people and your ancestors, the system that is set up in Europe is, well, Britain especially, is not set up for us. It's actually meant to keep us at a lower functioning level, right? They don't teach you like real things that they're supposed to be teaching you. So this is why it is up to yourself, like we're saying, as please teach your children more, and please do the school governor thing. I'm also going to tell you again about the Black curriculum, just because you guys brought up the white people in that picture. I just want to clarify as well for the people that it is very much run by Black people. Okay, so I'm going to show you the team. So you've got the founder and the CEO. Okay, here you've got the guys here, and then also down here. Oh, did I go past him? Where is it? Oh yeah. And then you've also got the other people as part of the team here. And then also you've got the supporters. Well, actually, these are the other teachers as well, and they're all black across here. Oops.
I just need the
More
imagery
goes
to
across.
look like they smell like shea butter and cocoa butter. I don't need. I like the image, the marketing. Look at the picture up at the top, right? With
Which
the
one?
white people in the middle.
Oh, the first page. The first
Yeah,
page.
that marketing picture with the white people in the middle around the computer and the black people on
Yeah.
the outside. That I mean,
Yeah.
like even the marketing when we're talking about how we show up in marketing is even important because people are visual first.
That's a good point. I'm going to message them with this. I'm going to email them and say, hey, do you know what this essentially looks like? I think what they were trying to get at is literally like, we're going to be, like I said, teaching the white people that this is what we're supposed to be teaching you. It's like we're telling you. But you're right about the white person being right in the middle, because they could have put her behind the text on the left-hand side, like put her face. But they put the blonde-haired white girl in the middle. Yeah,
Front and center.
it's
Sarah
true.
is right in the middle, and then Keisha is over to the side. Like
Yeah.
with okay, so like just real quick with the marketing here, what it used to be, and I'm 49, so y'all you don't come for me and my bad knees and back. But what it used to be was you would see like say that they were trying to market a washing detergent or something like that, right? The imagery you would see of a white family would be the mom, the dad, and the kid, right? But then if they did the same commercial with black people, it would be a single mother and the children.
Yeah.
Or it would, you know what I mean? Like, and even now you don't see a lot of black families in marketing. You might see a black woman with a white man and they have a biracial child, or you might see a black man with some kids, or a black woman, you know what I mean? It's not a cohesive black family imagery still.
Can someone, everybody else who's from the UK here, because we've had this conversation recently, there was a politician called Sarah Poachin. And when I say politician, I use those terms loosely. She represents the Reform Party, which is basically the equivalent of MAGA in the UK. And she's saying, oh, there's too many black people, too many brown people on television. I don't like it. And I think, I mean, I obviously don't live in the UK anymore. So I want to know from British people, from UK people, black and brown people who live there, what is it looking like? Is it looking more like the biracial story, or is it looking like there's two black parents with black children? Like, are we seeing the full family, not the nuclear family, but are we seeing that? Can anyone give some information on that, please?
To be
Nate,
honest,
what
I
are you
don't
saying?
watch TV. I don't watch TV, to be honest. However, like I do remember a few years back there was a Christmas advert,
Yeah.
and I did see a
It was a black
a
family.
black family. Yeah, like, but that's all I can remember and
Yeah.
see like, at the moment. Because as I
And the
say, I
white
don't
people
watch
got
TV.
mad.
Got hella mad. Oh, I love it when they crash out, man.
Same. We all say, yeah, it was the Sainsbury's advert, wasn't it? That really made people get upset because it was a black family celebrating Christmas and they tried to say that Christmas was just for white people. Is anyone else seeing it? Mimi says, never a fully black family, always mixed. Is anyone else seeing it? Handmade by D says, no, I don't see that many. This is something that I'm going to try, like you as well, Nate. I don't watch TV that much, but I'm going to try and see with my eyes if I'm seeing more black, like fully black families. Dark Cloud says no as well. So that's very interesting. But on that note, I always think about other communities as well. Like, do Chinese people say, well, we ain't seen a Chinese family on television, or like Asian families, Indian
You don't
families
actually
as well?
see
Do
them
they
at
think?
all.
Yeah.
I
They
don't think about
there's
what they
no.
see.
I don't really.
person,
Yeah.
the closest person that I remember seeing to Chinese on the TV was Gok One, and he ain't even fully Chinese.
Yes. Yeah, he's Thai, I think, isn't he? I think is he, or Philippine, no, Vietnamese, I think, is he? I can't remember. But yeah, there's not much representation from other groups of people, which is always brilliant to me as a black person. It's like, because we always fight to be seen. And then, of course, everybody else follows. It's like, well, what about me? What about me? Which is kind of funny as well after. But thank you
We
so
open
much.
up the doors, really and truthfully.
Yes, always, always. So let's summarize the conversation, shall we, guys? Thank you so much, everybody, for coming today and the beautiful conversation. Really, I've really enjoyed the solutions, the problems, and even the things that were difficult as well. It's always important to highlight the difficulties that we do have in the diaspora, and again, bringing it about to how we're moving forward as people. So, of course, we talked about the healthcare. Please look into your sickle cell and diabetes. Look into supporting more of your black businesses. Very important. Please redistribute that wealth. Please look at your local community, which companies or which businesses are anti-black. Don't keep spending your money with that. Bring it back to our community. It is very, very important to do that. Talking about homeschooling as well. Please educate your black children with your own knowledge from other black people. Thank you as well. It's Melanin Honey. Buy black educational books. Absolutely. There is a book by Fuse ODG, which I highly recommend. It's 54 countries, and it's about how he's trying to do more promotion of Africa. Please look into it. Fuse ODG's book. 54 countries. That is a beautiful book that was actually illustrated using people from the kids as well from the continent. It's a brilliant book that he's got people from all over the world to contribute, and it can be read by parents to their children and also for yourself as well if you want to know more about the motherland. And yes, Nate too as well. We talked about the food, we talked about fruit. Nate's talking about, of course, how he's growing his own things and talking about allotments, and we of course brought up black farming as well. Please,
one more
stop
thing,
being
Fox, before you go.
Just let me finish. Yeah, before we go, I'll bring you in, Hanu. Thank you. So this is very important as part of this conversation. Stop being bystanders. Stop being the black person that's like, where is that happening? Where? It's happening. It's been happening. You need to be an active participant into the black community, in the black diaspora, the African diaspora, the Caribbean diaspora. You need to be active, not passive. Active. It already exists around you, so stop saying it's not existing. And also, don't look at the people who are negative in these spaces. Those people are not conducive to the global conversation of uniting black people everywhere. We're looking for positivity, we're looking for movement, and we're looking for growth. Okay, Hanu, last point, and then we will finish.
Yes. You sickle cell made a neuron fire for me. So there has been a young man that has been actively cured of sickle cell in Louisiana, and I do
Yes, we
not
spoke about
know.
this.
Okay, wonderful. I don't know if people have been talking about this enough. It kind of was like a breeze by story here. That's huge for us. So,
Yeah.
if people have not read into this story, please go and look up this
Yes.
story and talk to your healthcare agencies, whomever they may be. Write to them, harass the shit out of them, and find out what is happening with the connection between your healthcare and ours over here, and what they're doing in your area to address sickle cell and finally curing this shit. That's
Yeah,
it.
thank you,
Sorry.
Hanu. Yeah, you missed it. We had a massive conversation about it, and I showed
I
the
was
video actually.
sleeping.
Oh, you missed it. I showed the video, and guess what? They gave me a violation, Hanu. I had to restart the live because I showed the video. Sometimes when I show educational videos, the TikTok says don't show it, and I say I don't give a shit. I'll restart the live. And we talked about that, and we talked. I have sickle cell traits. Water Goddess shared a beautiful personal story, and it made us quite emotional. So there was quite a bit of tears as well from us realizing that was a beautiful thing that has also happened for us. So yeah, please do it, everybody. Check your ancestry, check your physical health, check your mental health. I always talk about, last thing as well actually that I'll bring up, is mental health is massive. If you're in the UK, talking therapies, NHS talking therapies is fantastic. You already pay your taxes. This is a treatment that you're entitled to. Just Google NHS talking therapies. Anything that you're hearing here, and then if anything makes you feel uncomfortable, or if you know in your mind that things don't feel right, please go to NHS talking therapies. I will say this until the cows come home. Black people, we have suffered so much in our mental health, and our mental strength has been really lost. So we need to build it again. And the reason why I've got so confident, and the reason why I can have this platform and try to bring as many people together as I can, is because I had the help from the mental health system in the UK, in the NHS. It's been absolutely fantastic for me. So please, everybody do that. This was a beautiful conversation, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you so much to the moderators. Thank you, Water Goddess, for joining the team of moderators. We've managed to keep a lot of the
Thanks for
racism.
having me
Thank
up,
you so much.
Pops.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you to the sisters as well here, and the brothers who were here earlier. You know, this Saturday space is a space where we have to keep protecting it. And like I've said, once we get as many people as we can together, we're going to move this privately. This is why the colonizers are not supposed to be in this space at all. We don't want them here. We don't want them subtracting from the space. Moderators, you see as me as well. I also had to do moderating. So I really want the moderators here to be as on it as you can, even more so than you genuinely would do. Okay, than you genuinely would do. It needs to be 100% when it is the black conversation, no distractions. And Diego was the first black brother that I've had to drop from the panel because he was obviously being a bit counterproductive. So where I'm trying to go to and where I'm trying to bring everyone else to is for the global majority, which is us as black people, how we're moving together in our positivity and finding answers and solutions. Right, thank you so much, everybody, and have a great rest of your weekend. I love you all. I'll see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Take care, sister. Take care, everyone.
Take care, family. Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend. Bye.
Bye. Bye.